But yo, this is the Evergreen Pod.
It's one of them days.
One of them days. Welcome to the Evergreen Pod. We here, we wilding right now, man. We got that energy, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got a whole lot to talk about. Doug, you good?
I'm good, man.
Doug, you good? You ready, bro?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, cool. Will, you good?
Ready.
You know
Let's
we
go.
are. Yeah, Dante, you good?
Charged up.
Let's go. Swag, what's up?
What's up?
All right, Swag. That's what I'm talking about. And we got a special guest sitting with us tonight. What you want to say, EJ?
Off
What
camera.
you want to say, EJ? Hello, my name EJ. Some guy. So he's here, and so we all good and we are ready to go. So let's get to the business.
Okay.
Super Bowl. Oh, let's pass out the hats right quick. Shout out to Todd.
Oh.
Shout out to the Last of the Hard podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Todd, man, for sending us these gifts.
Bradley
man.
Glenn Construction.
Bradley Glenn Construction, man. And,
We with you.
you know what I'm
We
saying?
with you.
I don't really be rocking snapbacks, you know what I'm saying? I have to keep the snapback open, but you know what I'm saying? There it is right there. We out here. So we out here, man. So shout out to Todd and the Last of the Heart podcast. He got a couple episodes already, man.
He does.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's
Check him
cool.
out the other day.
That's cool, man. I've been keeping up with him, so that's cool, man. And we've been talking back and forth. So that's dope, man.
Hey, you know what I like? I like
that?
them glasses.
Yeah.
He been rocking them glasses on there, man.
I
see you, my dude.
He make his guest rock glasses the last game of the rock too. Yeah. So it's cool, man. So let's get to the business, man. Super Bowl.
What we say?
Did we call it or did we call it?
What did we say?
Did we call it or did we call it?
Joe Burrow built like that.
Joe Burrow built like that. He goated.
is,
So
he is.
so now we got the Bengals and the Rams. You know what I'm saying? And I'm feeling all kind of different ways about all of this. Because you know, I want to stick with my Joe gonna be the GOAT. You know, it's a conversation because I want to see that in him and Jamal. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good look. You know what I'm saying? But then you got on the other side, you got Odell. He a homeboy.
You gotta stick with it.
I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with the Bengals. I'm still pulling for the Bengals. So we gonna call out. If we calling it right now.
Oh, we calling it right now? We got 2 weeks, man. We got 2 weeks.
We got 2 weeks. I'm just,
Yeah, man.
you know what it is.
Somebody might catch COVID, man.
Oh man. Ain't no way.
Remember, they ain't testing
That's
for
true.
that no more.
They ain't testing no more.
They ain't testing that good.
Boy, they will not be tested this week. So, but they will say everybody's sick after the Super Bowl from catching COVID from the game before they cancel the Super Bowl.
That's
boy.
over with. That's really over with.
Yeah, man. So Bengals and Rams, we called it. That's over with. We called it. Here's what it is, man.
I think it's a win-win situation.
I think so.
If Joe Burrow wins,
Yep.
and you have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. If the Rams win, you have Odell Beckham,
Whitworth.
and Andrew Whitworth.
Andrew
40 years old,
Whitworth.
man. He's still playing.
That's
so
ridiculous,
It's a
man.
win-win situation.
I feel like Whitworth been playing since I was like 6 years old.
Sheesh.
You probably had.
You probably have,
You
right?
probably had.
So I mean, we didn't do a reaction to the championship weekend, conference championship
I love the
weekend.
games.
Yeah.
I love the games,
They were
man.
great games.
Which one y'all want to talk about
Physical.
first?
They was physical, man. We can start with the Bengals.
So Bengals, Chiefs.
Bengals Chiefs, man. It was a lot of suspect play calling
Yeah.
on the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs lost the game at the end of the first half.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Trying to go for it instead of kicking the field goal, man. Great tackle by Eli Apple, man. I know the city on your back right now, man. I'm talking about New Orleans,
The
man. But hey, Eli,
entire
man,
city.
Hey, you made a play.
He made the play.
I respect it, man.
Made the play,
So
bro.
He went on to drop a pick later on in the game too.
Super Bowl.
Well, we got to be balanced, right?
like he told Tyreek Hill, man. You want to see me? I'm gonna send you 2 tickets to the championship,
Super
man.
Bowl.
So, yeah, man. That's what I really think, man. Andy Reid. Man, my biggest thing about the Chiefs is who's the play caller?
Yeah, man.
Who's the
It's funny
real
because when
play
it goes,
caller?
it's a real funny thing because when it's going bad right now, they blaming on Andy Reid. When it's going good, they talking about Andy Reid, and that's a very new concept.
Yeah,
very good.
it's like reverse polarity. It's like I don't understand it, but who is the play caller? Because why Andy Reid still got the sheet, the play calling sheet, if
Right.
this man really
Big
the play
Waffle House
caller?
menu.
Like what's going on with that, man?
We called it. We were sitting there, we were watching, we were texting, we called it. When that first half, when they didn't take that field goal, I said, that's going to cost them later on. And I don't know, man, the play calling was wild. One thing I do notice about Kansas City is when they do better when they got a lot of field in front of them. When the field gets small, red zone, of course, everybody got to play better in the red zone. But when the red zone, they really have a tough time because they can't impose themselves with the run. They just can't do it. And so, you know, when that field shrink, you know what I'm saying?
Is it a can't or a won't?
I think it's a want.
Because if you look, you going against a 3-man line for 4 quarters, basically. I mean, in main passing downs, I think they played 30, somewhere between 30 and 35, 40%. They were playing 3-man down linemen, right? And dropping 8. Okay. and you're not running the ball in these situations. I think the Chiefs only ran. I think they ran the ball one time in a 3-down lineman situation. So now when it comes down to the fourth quarter and overtime, right? Well, possible overtime. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you got 3 linemen that can still chase Mahomes versus having to deal with a run game all day, and then not having the legs to go chasing down a elusive Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter.
Right.
That all plays into him extending the play and how long he can extend the play and give Tyreek and Boyd, man, and Kelsey and McKinnon, and give them time to get loose from you running through 8 defenders. That's a lot of defenders to get.
You got to pick and
past.
choose your spots.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think the Bengals did a real good job of covering towards the end of the game too. I was surprised because nobody was getting open, and that's not usually the story playing against the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Andy Reid they like that flashy stuff though. Pat Mahomes like it too. I think they like those flashy plays. I think they like the big plays. I think they like everybody talking about them making the big plays. Mm-hmm. And if you're up 21-3, was it like 21-3?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're up like that, then you know.
Cool.
Y'all know how it is, man. Y'all know we playing Madden. Y'all know what it is. We about to start airing it out. We just about to play.
We can drop the sticks.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We trying to, and then, you know what I'm saying? They come back to bite them, man.
As much as we want to give credit to Joe Burrow, which is rightfully to be given,
right.
The Cincinnati Bengals defense won that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love when I see adjustments, especially at halftime. That's something that the Cincinnati defense made. They made adjustments. Kansas City scored on 3 straight drives, like just
nothing.
boom, boom, moving the ball down the field. But for them to come out the second half and basically blank an explosive offense like the Chiefs, shout out to Cincinnati's defensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of it has to do with the length of Patrick Mahomes' fuse for patience. Like, if he runs out of patience on having to take what the defense gives him, he gonna start bombing, right? He gonna start and if your defense can last long enough to and like not let him run up enough points where he's still being patient, you might have a chance at it.
Yeah. I think that stems also from, like we were talking about a couple weeks ago, from the colleges that they come from. Mm-hmm. So you teaching these kids this air raid system.
Yep.
That's all they know is he's going to be open at this point. If he's not open, I don't know what to do.
I'm running.
Because they don't have to go through route progression in that system. It's the same thing with all the kids that came from Oklahoma. That's the same system that Texas Tech have. That's the same reason Kyler Murray has those problems right now with Arizona. Because it's the same exact system that the Cardinals are running. So,
and I think it's dangerous that he had success early, playing the way that he plays. It's good. We love it. We love the backyard football. We love it. The side throws and everything. Like, we love it. But I think, okay, cool. That's it. But now it's dangerous. I think what he's going to have to do is reinvent a lot of that thinking that you were talking about, Dante, because there's a lot of stuff that you can get under. There's a lot of plays there's stuff that you can get if you're, like you said, patient. And I think when you become successful with something, gunslinging, run all over the place, doing different things, throwing the ball up and somebody go and get it. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to. I hope that he has the potential to do it. I just hope that the coaching and him get on the same page. We can kind of break that and start. That's the next step for greatness to me.
I think part of it is. I mean, look, the stigmas and the things that you're fighting against. I think some of his reluctancy to pull the ball down and just run when there's nothing downfield. Just pull the ball down, get 8 yards, get out of bounds.
Do what Joe Burrow do.
Exactly, and that's what I don't know if he's got that stigma in the back of his head, like. Because he's elusive, and he's going to be elusive and stay behind the line and trying to wait for something. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Right. But I think sometimes if you just pick up the 8 yards and get out of bounds, slide, 8, 4, whatever. 5, I mean, you're a former baseball player. You know how to slide. Your dad was a baseball player. He taught you how to slide, so you know how to get down.
2nd and 2 is better than 2nd and 14.
Absolutely.
Like, all the time, all day, every day. So you got to run, man. I think they roster built bad too. We can't name a possession receiver on their team that moves the chains. They got all speed receivers and Travis Kelce, and then they send Kelce down the seam all the time. So Shout out to the Bengals though, man.
Shout out to the Bengals.
Shout out to the Bengals.
Sticking to the big game plan, sticking to their players, sticking
That's
to
all
what
you
they
gotta
do
do.
best.
Shout out to the Bengals.
And I told them boys they need to have some check downs. And what we started seeing,
coaching.
them doggone check downs.
That's
Coaching,
it,
man.
And they kept it like even in the fourth quarter on the last drive, like they were still running the ball.
Yep.
Right.
Like
Shout
they were
to
still
Mixon,
running
man.
the ball.
They could have ran it in.
Exactly.
They should have ran
They
it.
shoulda ran
I don't
it.
like
They
kickers,
shoulda.
so me and kickers don't get along. So they should have ran the ball in, man.
All right, so Rams,
Rams and 49ers.
49ers, man.
hard hitting game.
I think that
Very hard hitting game.
I think that the same way we said the Chiefs lost that game, I think 49ers may have lost that game
Absolutely.
because the interception at the end, it should have been an interception.
Dropped.
And then I saw, and Jimmy made some overthrows, man, to some wide open receivers throughout the whole game to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if you just complete those passes, wide open Kittle, wide open in the middle. You know what I'm saying? If you complete those passes, these are the things that takes the air out of their lungs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of keeps the chains moving.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think both quarterbacks missed a lot of open receivers,
Absolutely.
like
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Stafford missed Jefferson on a couple of like just would have been runaway touchdowns. Now, granted, receiver also dropped one, right in the end zone, right in his hands too. But I think, like I said, I was my only apprehension why I picked the 49ers was their line play, and what ended up playing out was the Rams defensive line held it down in the end, and Aaron Donald just kept coming. No matter how much they thought they were neutralizing him, how much it felt like they were neutralizing him,
Right.
he just kept coming. That young man is relentless.
Yep.
Von Miller, Floyd on the other side, on the opposite side. You know, and
It was coming.
them boys just kept coming, and it was like that was a physical, very physical game. The referees kind of let them play, and it was a very physical game. I really enjoyed that game, the way it played out, because it was ugly. Both games were kind of they were good games, but they weren't like the epitome of football.
Yeah. And I think they wasn't the epitome of football because just as we congratulate the coaching in the other game, the coaching in this game was terrible on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
I alluded to it. Sean McVay is terrible.
McVay.
Sean, whatever his name is.
He don't even want to take. He ain't saving no timeouts.
The dude challenging calls that's really unchallengeable.
And almost cost them.
And almost like, what are you doing? Taking chances like this in the it's obvious you have the better team. Just play ball.
Just play ball.
And line up and you're gonna win. It's terrible coaching in the game. The 49ers trying to do all of that. I understand they run game, they're a zone running team. But when you running zone to the right, but you're pulling guards to the left, that goes against overloading the right hand side. Like, why are you trying to trick Aaron Donald into following the guard to the left?
Right,
He's just
right.
gonna shoot the gap and blow the play up.
Absolutely, every time.
The reason
Like-
his hands are so good is because he gets his hands on the offensive lineman, extends, and he can read the play. Like he's not gonna fall for a lineman pulling because he can see the like he's gotten so good at getting off the lineman and seeing the ball. He's not gonna fall for that.
Yeah, man. So the 49ers, terrible play calling. The Rams, I knew they had the better team, so that's why I went with them in our
Right.
predictions. Sean McVay, man, I still don't trust you. You're going to the Super Bowl.
Hey.
That says a lot for your franchise, your organization, and the city of LA, man. I love you, LA. But
Hey,
I don't know.
I tell you what, Will.
Another back-to-back home game Super
Back to
Bowls.
back home game.
I know that we gonna call it next week on the next pod, right?
Yep.
But I'm gonna say something right now. I believe that the wide receivers for the Bengals gonna come up big because I don't believe in the secondary of the Rams. Besides Jalen, I don't believe in them like that. And I believe there's gonna be coaching again. I believe that the Bengals coach probably could out coach McVay, and if he's gonna have to because they have the better team.
Yeah, the better team.
And if he does, it is what it is.
Yeah, man.
I'll save my analysis for next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna say mine too, man.
I think Jamal gonna go off.
Shout out to OBJ too.
Absolutely.
First 100-yard game since 2019.
Absolutely.
And changed the narrative. They
That's
said
crazy,
the
bro.
greatest redemption story. It's not a redemption story.
He's always
the guy's
been
been a
that
winner.
dude.
He's always wanted to win.
Always.
He was just in New York with Eli Manning, and so now he
Then
gets
he
a
had Baker
Bengals and
Mayfield.
the Browns. I'm
So,
sorry,
Baker Mayfield.
Browns.
He's always wanted to win. He's always been competitive. So OBJ, don't let them label you as redemption story. That's who you always been.
Redeem from what? And then they looking for
Redeem from
Y'all know,
them.
We're about to
From
get
them.
to it
Yeah,
because
from them.
redeem from what? And it's like they always looking for some kind of line, something to say, some kind of to give them a story, and they don't care who is on
Right.
Nope.
or what shadow they put on anybody else.
I can see if they talk about comeback player because he did come back from a ACL. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say that, that's one thing.
Yeah, but they ain't got
But
nothing.
They-
when you talk about
what they talking
redemptive, like redemptive is
That means
something
you've been
that
convicted.
yeah, like you've been convicted of something like.
To them trash organizations. That's all that man.
Yeah, that's the only thing you've been convicted
That's
to.
the only thing he was convicted to.
That's the
Trash
only thing-
organizations.
And think about it, the dude has no teammate has ever said anything bad about him.
Never.
Not
Crazy.
one.
Like never, man.
That's
It's
crazy.
just crazy how the media can change narratives about a player
It's
or
a kid
or
went to
situation.
Newman. They talk bad about a kid that went to Newman.
With the Newman, bro.
Like Newman. Really?
That's
For
why-
those that don't know, Newman High School. That's a private school in Louisiana, in New Orleans, Louisiana. That you pretty buttoned up. All right, we'll just put it like that. It's pretty buttoned up.
And you got a pretty penny to go with the
Exactly.
button.
Exactly.
so that makes-
For everybody else, it's what Eli Manning, Peyton
Yes.
Manning, Cooper
Arch
Manning, Arch Manning,
is
all of them go.
currently.
Right.
Newman.
Yeah, and I'm happy for them too, even if they win too, because Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
that boy was in jail for all them years in Detroit, man.
That's convicted. That's convicted.
He had a redemptive story.
That man thought he was on death row.
Man, I'm saying, man, and he got out of there, man, and so that's a good story, man. So it's gonna be good either way,
gonna be
man.
good.
I'm
Good Super Bowl,
I'm
man.
excited to see. We'll see.
So while we still on the NFL, the retirement of the GOAT.
Absolutely. Shout out to Tom. Shout out to Tommy.
So
Tom
smart
Brady.
too. So smart,
Shout
man,
out
with
to
his
Tommy.
retirement, man. He waited till February.
Yeah, bro.
15 million was on the table, man.
Bruh.
Nah, take that down.
Right.
Take that down, Adam Schefter. I ain't retiring till next week.
Right.
Start off the time, man.
February 4th, I believe. That's when the 15 mil
Yeah, so,
hit the
so
bank account.
you know you can't turn the paperwork in yet.
Exactly.
So you can announce it, but you can't
Exactly.
turn the
Don't
paperwork
fax
in.
nothing. Don't turn off all the fax
Oh, you
machines.
getting the 15 mil.
Got that bag.
Oh, man, smart, man.
I
Shout
have a
out to
question.
Tom, man.
I have a question. Do y'all think he done?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think his wife told him he's done.
So there's no.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna say,
I don't know, man.
When I say that, is there an opportunity that can present itself on the table, and it's like, I can get number 8.
I think he could get number 8 with the 49ers.
He can.
I think he.
Oh,
could get number 8 with
I
the
think he
49ers.
definitely can.
He's from that area. Him and Aaron Rodgers both from that area. They both probably gonna be switching teams. I think he was tired of Bruce Arians. What happened with on the playmaker on the outside?
With Brown.
So
Antonio.
if he that tight with Antonio Brown, right? He the reason why Antonio Brown was there.
You already got
And
Kittle
that
over there.
situation happened.
He
And
did say
Debo.
something interesting in that
Got
post
Debo
though,
and Ken.
about Bruce Arians. He said, even though that, I maybe gave you a hard time sometimes, and he even said about the organization, he said, I know I was demanding at times.
Yeah.
So when people say stuff like that, it was some type of friction that was going on
Well, we knew that first season.
between them.
That first season, they said they were him and Aaron's was hitting bumping heads.
Bruce Arians talk about him in the press conference.
Yeah.
That,
Right.
like he didn't hold back. Like usually you don't hear a coach talking about his quarterback in the press conference.
Like, that's Tom Brady.
That's Tom Brady.
Like,
And right, that's just regular Joe Blow quarterback,
Oh.
not the GOAT. Like you ain't.
I say he was trying to get away from Bruce Arians. I call my shot with AB. I'm calling my shot right now with TB.
And I'm wondering how that works. I know he had 3 more years on his contract with the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks still hold his rights.
Right.
But are you gonna actually hold Tom Brady from going to
especially
another
if
team?
something else come up? If you can trade
it's not in your
for him or something.
division either.
It's not in your division,
Right.
It's in my conference though.
but he didn't have to come there.
Hey.
He went there on good faith.
He did.
You true?
I didn't watch the press
And he got
conference.
you out Super Bowl.
And he got your
And he got you a Super Bowl.
Year 1.
Yeah.
Year 1, right? The first year he was
year
there.
Yeah.
I heard. I didn't watch the press conference, but my brother had me laughing. He don't even watch sports like that. It's so funny. My younger brother, but he was like,
Jesus.
Tom, so this why. So y'all tell me if I'm tripping. He said Tom was talking, thanking everybody, and he ain't say nothing about the Patriots.
No, he did.
That's what I was confused. I read the whole letter and I'm like, I'm looking for the paragraph. I'm
I
like,
was too.
and this man ain't say nothing about.
But you saw he reposted a picture and
Yes.
said thank you to the Patriots fans and nations and Patriots and like the Patriots fan. That was it.
That's because of his publicist, man. He came back and said,
Like, you wrote a full notes
bro.
app and you ain't writing nothing about the
That
Patriots.
was intentional.
Tom Brady a G.
And that's 6 of your
So he
championships.
really
They
is.
always say that about him too.
Yeah.
They say he talked that noise too.
6
Oh yeah, he
championships.
talked that noise.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, he talked that
And
noise.
did not think them at all.
yeah. That was
Hey,
intentional.
Didn't mention
that's-
Bill.
that's-
He won
Didn't
without
mention
them.
Robert
They haven't
Kraft.
won anything without
That
him.
ain't Goldie. That's GOAT.
Yeah, it is, bro. Like, you got six Super Bowl wins. They didn't even mention these people.
You can just stand in that. Let's go. You can just stand in that one.
You know why? Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he's still upset about that.
He's still upset about that.
Yeah.
And now I see why.
Watching that game last Sunday.
He knew. He like, this guy?
Yeah.
This guy who closed his eyes and threw an interception in the Super Bowl. This guy who turned his back and threw the game in interception in the conference championship.
Didn't he hit the Mac Johnson? Mac Johnson turned his head, throw the ball.
I think he said he told Lamar Jackson that you next.
Yeah.
Who said Tom
Brady did.
Yeah. If he get AB, he is.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm you know,
Hey, that's
I
one-
wish it worked that way.
That's one Harbaugh
I
I
wish
like.
it was like, receive that.
That is one Harbaugh that I like. I don't rock with the other Harbaugh.
That
The one in Baltimore.
Yeah, I like
Hey
him,
man.
bro.
Hey
gonna-
man,
he
that
gonna ride
dude is a
with you.
stand-up dude, man. That dude is riding with Lamar Jackson until the wheels fall off.
Yeah. I like how they tailor their offense to his skill set.
Yeah,
They're
man.
allowing him to
They
grow.
allow him
man.
to be a football player.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
I agree. So
What's next on the agenda? National Signing Day, man. Slash NILs, man.
yes, sir.
A lot was going on today,
Bag
man.
season.
It's one of my favorite days of the year, man. To be honest with you, man, it's free education and now it's free bags.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
Well, it's not free bag because it was earned.
Right.
It was earned.
Earned
These bags
bags.
was earned. The education is free.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so this is my favorite day of the year, man. So shout out to all the kids, man. Signed scholarships, preferred walk-on scholarships also went out today.
Absolutely.
And so, like, people don't understand how big that is.
Division 1, Division 2, Division
Man,
3,
that is amazing, man. Shout out to all the kids, man. National Signing Day.
NAIA.
I heard one school was dropping $400,000 on every kid in the whole signing class.
Yeah, dog.
$400,000 on every kid in the whole signing class, man.
Sheesh.
You know, Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher.
Hey, yeah, did y'all hear his little rant? I watched
Yeah,
on
I watched it.
Sports
We
Center.
just watched it.
And he kind of took some shots at Lane.
Oh no, not just Lane.
Yeah.
Nick Saban.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
called
did-
his name.
Oh, did he? I didn't
He
hear
said
that part.
Nick Saban.
Sheesh.
It's okay when you're doing it and your quarterback's getting $800,000.
Man, let's go.
And then
I
guess
love
what he
it.
said at the end?
Gloves
if you
off.
have a problem with me, we will be at the same meeting. We can talk about it
SEC
or we can do something else.
Say the name. That's what I'm talking about.
Jimbo Fisher
Nah.
has dropped them on the table.
Because NIL
Now it's live.
right.
Let's go. Now it's live. Let's go. So I'm talking about. Say their name.
Yeah,
dog.
man.
Jimbo G.
Came to Louisiana, got the #1 player, Jacoby Matthews.
Man, let's go.
Shout out to Jacoby and his family, man.
Congratulations.
Negotiated that bag. We're gonna talk about that a little later too,
Hey,
man.
I love it. I love it for the competition, bro. Let's go, man. I love it. That makes some good football, bro.
It does.
Yeah, bro.
It
Some
does.
good competition, man. I just like that. I like, as much as I root for my home team and LSU and just and whoever else we root for, I like seeing good games, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like it, man, when we watch. You remember a few years back, we kept on seeing, I'm jumping sports, but we kept on seeing Cleveland and Golden State go, and everybody knew like they were going to go. So like other games was just preliminary. Or like when we watching other teams that are really, really good in the NFL, and it's like, okay, it's just preliminary games. I like it when you don't know what's going to happen and everybody got to play ball. And now then it comes down to the coaching too.
Yeah, come down to the coaching.
I like that. I like that. I'm looking forward to that, partner.
And then also this NIL, man, with this National Signing Day is also boosting up more coaches. So everybody has to hire NIL staff now. So more people are leaving high school coaching
Right.
and going to work for these universities because they got the high school connects.
Right.
So they just go and work in the office now.
Yep.
I ain't got to go out there coaching in the rain or nothing no more.
Game changers.
Honestly, you probably, as the university, you probably coming off better hiring them as a regular position, because I would almost rather be a high school head coach and just be like, if I got a factory under me, I'd almost rather be the high school head coach and get broke off every recruit.
That's the thing though, but they don't have to break you off as the coach though.
That's true.
They don't have to though.
That's true.
But you got to get broke off if you work for them.
Uh-huh.
So now you the mediation between
That's
the
true.
player and the boosters.
Yeah.
And why they give boosters such a hard rep, Doug? Like, explain that to me. What's up with the boosters and how schools don't really like boosters and the NCAA don't like boosters, but the kids love the boosters?
The stigma before NIL. They were seen and deemed always the evil ones on campus that got everyone in trouble. So if any infraction or violation took place, it was a booster that was involved. And so before NIL, when they had rules in place and they had basically your foot on your neck, if anything went down or transpired, it was because of the booster. But even then, man, like I always been a stickler about, they say athletes get free scholarships, free books, free class, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if a booster or anybody, just anybody, wanted to take you grocery shopping and pay for your groceries, what is the big deal about that? And I'm not trying to be I don't try to be intelligent, say these big words or anything like that. But is it affecting your bottom line? No. What's affecting is they can't stand the fact when a kid gets empowered in any kind of way. Mm-hmm. That really bothers me. And like I'm really bothered about a lot of things, man, that I'm seeing what people are saying about NIL. For instance, I tweeted something today. I know, but we're going here now.
Let's get to
when
it.
they were like the NIL deals, the term and the phrase now is that the kid is going to the highest bidder. Now we're gonna get quiet, all right? So
I'm looking in the camera.
So
Yeah,
like,
I don't
anytime
understand.
somebody, we all read. You read your Bible, right? You read the scripture, you pause. Okay, you pause and you think about it.
Say loud.
That's meditation, right? So you ponder and you think about it. I'm gonna say that again. The phrase now is that these kids are going to the highest bidder. And anybody with any kind of sense, like they have sense, if you know the history of just, blacks in general, I'm not a historian, but I do know the slave auction went to what?
Highest bidder.
Highest bidder. Now, I don't get to white and black and things of that nature because I just feel like what's for you is for you. And if you're going to get to the door, if you got to knock it down, you're going to get to it.
Right.
At the same time, people need to be called out on certain things.
Yep.
On that bull.
Yep.
Because now it's like, Will, I'm going to let you touch on this too because you said it earlier. This labeling, especially black athletes, has to stop.
Yeah.
I'm tired of a black athlete that's in trouble. He's a thug or has mental issues. Okay? I'm tired of saying that he has a character issue. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of saying if he gets on TV, he's well-spoken, they act like they just flabbergasted. I can't believe how well-spoken he is. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of saying, he dresses so nice. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of saying he comes from a great family. His mom's a doctor. His dad's a lawyer. I'm tired of that, man. And that narrative has to change. And we can march. We can do all this stuff. We can put our fist in the air.
Right.
But it's not going to change until, number one, we call it out.
Call it out.
And number two, us as individuals, like, young black men or young black males in this generation, change the narrative.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think the way that, and a lot of times, and we're guilty of this. I'm guilty of this. Mm-hmm. If I get, because it's like this mentality, especially in the Deep South, if I get around a certain group of people, if I get around, corporate or white people, like I change the way I talk. Mm-hmm. But why I can't talk like that in front of Dante? Why I can't talk like that in front of Will?
Right.
Why I can't talk like that in front of Montrell?
Right.
Mm-hmm. We're created and designed to be great.
Yep.
So I shouldn't be talking in front of Will and Montrell and Dante about all this foolishness and talking crazy and all this stuff.
Right.
I should eloquently speak my words.
Absolutely.
And I'm not trying to be an eloquent speaker, but just talk properly.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right.
And when this younger generation sees that, like, so we all deal with young men in some capacity. Mm-hmm. When they see that, their mind is going to change. Their mind is going to flip. And so, yes, like I'm tired of this. And now what they want to do is this. They feel like now when we call them out on it, they get upset. They shouldn't have said that, or go sit down, or be quiet. We're gonna get to this earlier about the bomb threats and all this stuff.
Right.
You know what? It's too late, right? I think the time has changed. The time is shifting. I always said this.
Right.
I think the pandemic was bigger than COVID.
Right.
Yep.
It was.
Right.
It exposed a lot of things.
It sure did.
It gave opportunities for people.
Yep.
And so let's stop with this narrative, man. Like let's stop with this stuff, man.
And
Like it's okay. Come on, man. Why does he have to? Why does he have to go to the highest bidder? Why he just can't negotiate a business deal?
So the first thing is anybody that says a kid went to the highest bidder. The first off is you look stupid. Like you're stupid. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna call it no other way. You're stupid. Anybody that doesn't understand a business transaction, you will work what you can negotiate. I don't care who you are, what you do in life. You'll work what you can negotiate. If you can only negotiate $15 on your job and you calling these kids going to the highest bidder, you stupid because you only can negotiate $15 an hour at your job when you should have been getting 22 to 25.
Bro.
So when these kids getting this $400,000 a year, they making more than you gonna make and take home in your lifetime because you still paying taxes.
Right.
That's the number 2 thing about the situation. So let's give respect to these people, these kids, these families, these parents, these aunts and uncles in these school systems who are actually doing a good job to be able to get these kids into these schools that they didn't want them in the first place.
Right.
That's true. Right? So these schools was not designed for these kids who making it.
Right.
So now I can negotiate a $400,000 deal because I have an athletic ability. I have empowered myself by the work that I have put in. So stop talking about these kids going to the highest bidders. If not, come holler at me, man. True Sports Network, Evergreen Pie.
Hey, and see, let me tell you something. I like the word narrative. And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk more because we about to get to the business now.
Yeah, let's go.
But it's the word narrative, and it's on purpose. Whatever the narrative is, whoever the narrator decides what the story sounds like.
Yep.
Whoever we were talking about some of the people that's on the radio right now talking. Like whoever has the mic, whoever has the mic right now sets the narration. So statements like highest bidder. That's on purpose. Yep. Then they're like, oh, you don't like the statement? You don't like no, I don't like the statement. You know where it come from?
Yeah.
No, don't play with me like that. And so the narration is, and it's slick. It's like we're gonna throw it in there.
We're gonna ease it in on them.
Thug and mental health and where you think it come from? Who calls mental health in the community? If that, let's really talk about it into the roots of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to go back into this Black History Month and all that stuff, but I'm just saying.
Every month Black History Month.
24/7. It's 24/7. Black History Month all day.
I went to
every day.
HBCU.
As long as we black and we alive, it's always Black History Month.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? But it's the narrative and it's the narration. And I like what you said, Doug. I like what you said, Will. And I know you got some stuff to say too, Dante. That we have to. I think okay. So we grew up learning about the marches, right? And God bless the marches and everything, but we still see we're not as far as we should be. You know what I'm saying? As far as we think we should be, as far as the community and everything, right? So we did the march. We even marched recently for a lot of different things, right? And all that's cool or whatever. But now it's the everyday you and me where we are standing for it and not taking it where we are.
Yeah.
And it might be small battles. It might be a text message, Doug. It might be something saying this and this and this. And they may still feel like they feel till they go to their grave. But at the end of the day, I'm not about to sit here and I'm not going to be an angry black man. That's another one, right? That's another one, right? You're an angry black man. No, we're not going to be angry. We're not going to be that. But I'm just going to look at you straight in your face and be like, nah, that's not how it's going to go. No, call his name the right way. Stop talking about highest bidder because these are contract negotiations.
That's what it is.
Right now, these are
that's what it is.
These are contract negotiations, and nobody says that anywhere else. But when you're trying to put somebody in a stigma, that's crazy. I could keep going, but that's crazy.
Dante?
I think this conversation has to because it's
It has to be said.
Yeah. You know, growing up here in Louisiana, my parents afforded me the rights to a better education on top of between that and my athletic ability because I did get a small scholarship to attend the high school that I first attended. So I know both sides of this. I've lived both sides of this issue.
Absolutely.
So I know how, and I'm not going to even say the other side. I know how people with a slanted view of race,
privilege,
how they, I know how they think, right? I have a deep knowledge of how they think, right? I was with them for a minute, a hot minute. I played ball with them, right? So we've all been in locker rooms, either basketball, football, right? And so we see the true nature. You see the true nature of people in the locker room, and things I've experienced in those locker rooms, it's been vastly different from what I've experienced within my own black community, right? So when they truly believe, like some of these people truly believe that they were born on third base, and just because they could get home, they think they hit a home run. No, it's a single, dog.
Yep. Yeah.
like for someone to say that you are going to the highest bidder, and it goes a lot deeper than rap because it's a lot to do with the things that they now are trying to get, banished from being taught in classrooms. A lot of things
don't get me on that.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot deeper than rap. Like I mean, it bleeds over into all of this.
Yep.
If you've never heard of a slave auction, then you won't know.
Well, who has it though?
Ignore. Ignore.
Yeah.
Exactly. So so you really don't understand why we say, like, the NFL Combine, why they walking in there in their underwear? What they for what?
What they got to do with
what they got to do? What they got to do with my film? Like,
Absolutely.
Well, this kid going to the highest bidder, but all these kids weren't. All these kids you referring to aren't black. So are the white kids going to the highest bidder too? Or
and we don't hear that.
Are they signing business deals?
They signing NIL deals.
We
know what I'm saying?
We don't hear that.
So when I hear about the 5-star pocket passer,
Yeah.
quote unquote, because it could easily be a black, because it was Caleb Williams a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right. Shout out to him. USC, fight on. But when you hear about that kid signing, oh well, man, this is a great business opportunity for him.
Yep.
Signing this deal out of high school, he's getting 800,000, 900,000, million coming out of high school. But when Deion Sanders signs the cornerback, the top-rated cornerback wide receiver in the class, one of the top-rated or the top-rated kid out the class, oh, we know what that is. That's Barstool gave him, he's on auction basically.
Yeah, that's what
they want the auction.
Yeah.
Like, you think that's how Deion Sanders is approaching this?
Nope.
And he knows what it is too.
And even with that, so I went back and did a little more research on it and why they showed all of the kids 7-on-7 stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. And not his actual
game film, right? Mm-hmm. And that's an actual form of them disrupting the system, right? They hate 7-on-7. You know why? Because they don't control 7-on-7.
And they cut up.
So you know who got them the footage? His 7-on-7 coaches, who are the same skin color as him. They the ones submitted so they bypassing the old school ways and the old school thoughts. Yep. So I'm big up in that 7-on-7 right now, man. Shout out to everybody who playing 7-on-7. Keep doing it and keep on going for what these kids really need, because they the ones who actually help and broker some of these NIL deals.
Right,
these 7-on-7 coaches, man. So we got to keep on doing it. And back to what Doug was saying, like, some of these people, I don't think they understand that when we were in school, every time we took a standardized test, we had a box we had to check.
Straight up.
Like, it was a box I had to check personally.
Straight up.
I went to a Christian school and I still had to check the box.
It's still like that.
It's still like
So if it's still like that,
Absolutely.
and y'all still thinking we going to the highest bidder,
yeah.
y'all living somewhere else.
Right.
Y'all, I don't know. I guess that's why everybody trying to get out there and out of space.
Right.
Because I guess that's where they trying to live it. Like, all jokes
Real
aside,
talk.
like something not going on, something not right, something not clicking in their mind, but they trying to say we the ones with the mental, we need the mental health. Maybe y'all need the mental health.
I know. It's clicking.
Yeah.
It's clicking. And I agree with you 100%. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Let me tell you something. Y'all ready? Are we going there?
We're going there. Go there, man.
All right, cool. Because I ain't got no more sports talk.
Keep it up. Shout out to the Winter Olympics. Shout out to the U.S. national team in the World Cup qualifying. The HBCU combine, man. Shout out to that. We're going to talk about that, man. We got you, man. Shout out to the Legacy Bowl, too.
Yeah.
It's on now. Evergreen, let's go.
Let me tell you something. I want to ask you something, Will, because I'm going to ask it to you, and then I'm on. Let me.
Well, let's introduce it. Introduce the topic.
Well, before I even get to that particular topic.
Okay. Wherever you want to go, man.
Go ahead. We ride.
I just have to speak to a couple of things because when I was we grew up. I grew up. When I was from kindergarten to 6th grade, I was the only black guy in a lot of my classes. I was the only black boy, so I was always the tallest and the fastest. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Me and Preston Goodlow. Shout out to Preston, man. So it was I dealt with, even when I learned black history. Like, first of all, what is black history? But anyway, it's the history of the country. But when I learned black history, we learned We never heard about Malcolm X. They didn't teach about that because they were scared of that. We heard everything we heard about slavery. We never knew. I was older before I knew all of the black inventors and the black people that had responsibility for all the things that white people had claimed. Right.
Yep.
We were older, Dante. Come on, man.
You was going in high school when you learned that.
And we didn't know what was happening to us.
Yeah.
The only thing we knew about black people were slaves.
Yep.
They were slaves. The Civil War freed us. When the Civil War wasn't about freeing us at all. Abraham Lincoln loved us when he didn't really love us at all. Those were all business transactions and political moves to try to get power for the country, right?
Yep.
All we knew was second rate, so it was ingrained in our minds and we came up, so we didn't know. Then we hear about Martin Luther King, and they big up Martin Luther King. They make us clap for him, but all we knew was he had a dream.
And they don't tell the truth about him either.
No, hold on.
They don't tell the whole story at all.
That's what they say.
They don't tell the story at all.
They say that he marched, he was for love, and then they got mad at him, so a hater killed him because he was
a hater.
And it had nothing to do with what his dream was. It was all about when he started talking economic empowerment.
That's it.
But we don't know. I was a grown man.
That's it.
Before I knew this. And why is this that we all went to the same history class? We're all Louisiana.
Yep.
So we went to the same history class, and why we don't know this stuff, right?
3 of us went to school in the same parish.
Three of us went to school in the same parish. I'm asking Will because we went, and I got something else to say, but I went to Dutchtown. I'm put out, I went to Dutchtown, and we right here. Doug was in the same area, even though they went to Parkview, and Dante went to Parkview. We on the same area. We down here. Swag down this way.
Yeah.
We Denham. He hit the deal with the same thing we were talking about today. Even Maul, even EJ, right? The Zachary. The players coming this way, like this, we dealing with, you know what I'm saying, these people, right?
Yeah.
Even in how was it? Was it really different down there in New Orleans, or was it the same exact story? Because sometimes New Orleans could be different. I understand when you cross the bridge, you come this way, or something different. Like what was it? Because this is what we dealt with.
History lessons or the actual lessons of life?
Go with them.
History lessons was the exact same thing y'all got. Fabricated foolishness that they tried to instill in you to give you get you past go. That's all it is.
Right.
It's to get you past go. Life lessons is different depending on what part of the city you grew up in.
Right.
You could have $1 million house on one corner uptown, and I could be in the projects on the next corner.
Yeah, that's how I go.
Right?
That's how I
So
go.
all of us are intermingling. So when you learning all of that, the school books don't make sense when you looking at real life
don't
out there in the
make
city. The school books do not make sense because I see this black person is a millionaire, and I see these white people in these projects. Right? So what y'all telling me is fabricated foolishness.
Absolutely.
It's lies.
Yeah.
It's lies to get you past go. Like I
Narration,
said.
bro.
So I don't understand none of it because I didn't grow up with it in my household. My family ain't instilled that in me.
Right.
They told me to treat a man as far as you can see him as his character until he proves you wrong. And once he proves you wrong, believe him.
Right.
Don't take him back.
Right.
Do not take it back. If his work ethic terrible, don't trust him.
Right.
So everybody who they tried to push us off in these history books, they had great work ethic, right?
Yep.
When you talk about Black History Month, they telling you everybody who got great work ethic, right? Why they ain't telling you that in September?
That's what I'm talking about.
Why they ain't telling you that in June?
It's on purpose, bro.
Right? So don't come giving me all, don't come giving me all of these sports knowledges and sports facts of these black people that did these things in February. Right? I ain't falling for it because I already know the history. Like some came up in the group the other day. Somebody put out somebody else put out, and we just got to repost it in the group, right?
Yeah.
It was some news from 2020.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't give me this. Don't give me this just because it's February 1st.
Right.
Like, I know this happened. Like, cause when it happened, like I talked about it right then.
Right.
So I know, I'm like, man, ain't that old?
Right.
Like that's 2020, bro.
Yep.
So y'all steady going back. Talk about this new history.
It's like
Talk
they
about what
holding
we
it
doing.
until Black History Month, and
And then trying to sugarcoat it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, man, I'm with y'all on everything that was taught. Everything was taught was wrong, man. Them history books need to be changed. Like, I don't understand, like, how can we have these discussions and all of these, like, number one, I ain't with the marching. The marching is cool, but I want to see results.
Absolutely.
Like, and if there ain't no results coming, we need to stop marching.
And what we're about to start talking about is going to be founded by all these conversations. And this is why I say it's on purpose.
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to hit y'all one. You ready?
Let's go.
Some of my elders will make a statement. I'm not even going to put anybody in particular out there, but a couple of my elders are close to me make a statement, Dante, and they say, "You ready for this?" They said that for our community, the black community, they say integration is one of the worst things that ever happened to it.
Yep. A lot of my people say that too.
They say because, and I got a take on that because they said there's a lot of things that were culturally with us that we were establishing and building, and we were taught. Yeah, you can talk. We hear you. Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, say what you gotta say.
If you got something.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that were instilled in us culturally. We can go back to Black Wall Street. We can go back to Brownsville, different ones, and we know those stories would heat me up all the time. But there were things that were being instilled in us, and there were certain things that we just wouldn't do.
Yep.
Certain things that we wouldn't take a part of. Certain ways that we wouldn't act.
Some places we ain't showing up.
Some places we ain't showing up. Let me get this out real quick. I would never understand in the Bible why we would hear God say, "Don't take a wife from that place." And I would say, "Was that racist? Is God being racist?
No.
What is going on? Don't take a woman from over there. Get her from over here. You don't take her from over here." Solomon went crazy at the end of his wisest man ever because he was dealing with all these strange women. And watch this. It's because of these cultures. These cultures that come in that have you live in ways that are not conducive to your successful going forward. All right, watch me. And so they said the worst thing that happened was the integration. They said you should have left it alone. They said nobody. We equal. We can be equal and do what we got to do.
You can be equal and separate at the same time.
That's what I'm saying. But don't. But today it hit me that it's very, very slick. It feels like the Garden of Eden. I know I'm giving these Bible references, but it feels like the Garden of Eden that says, "Come over here. Look what I got. You're gonna be great if you get this. So come over here, integrate with us," acting like we don't want you to do it. And there were some people on the ground levels. Y'all know racism ain't racism. Like it ain't really. we make it like it's black and white, and we throw all the words out, but it's very economical and very power structure and generational.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Classism.
But so they enrage the ones that's on the ground that's going to say all the slurs and say all the words and want to fight and do all the different things, so that you think that that's the real fight. And meanwhile, they're working in the background. They say, "We need to be able to keep a finger on. They're too powerful. They're too smart. They're getting too smart, too powerful. We need to bring them in so we can keep a close eye, and then we begin to structure situations to where now it's classism, and now the zoning of the neighborhoods, and the zoning of the loans, and the zoning of who can get money here, and the zoning of the schools, and voting. It's on purpose.
It's local.
It's on purpose. It is not an accident. It is not a moral flaw. In a grand scheme of things, we know it's a moral flaw, but it's very intentional. It's not an accident. It's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not they're not ignorant about it. It's not we didn't know what was going on, because that's the first thing. Nope. It's very, 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 very intentional for a long-term reason.
So all of my people, quick background story real quick, 2 minutes. All of my people are from Mississippi, my father's side and my mother's side, right? Shout out to Woodville, shout out to Macomb. Like that's what made me. That's what made me. Them trips to the country, that's what made me. Like, shout out to them, because that's what made them, man. And they all came to the city separate, right? So then they met up, Metairie. Shout out to everybody in Metairie, man. Got together, did their thing, right?
Great migration.
Created me. The whole family came down. Right? There wasn't no poor people. The whole family came now, right? Because, and then they got put in these school systems. The school systems was separated then, right? My dad and them went to John Martin. My mom went to an all-girls school, Grace King. It's a regular public school now. Before the schools were separated too, from between boys and girls. Not only was they separated by color, they were separated by boys and girls. A lot of people don't realize that. Right? So then everything came. My uncles and them had to go to Bonneville, right? Everybody got mixed together. First day of school riot. Rioting, right? They ain't never seen this before. So now my uncle, check the news, check the history. My uncle leads the riot. Now he's banned from school the rest of his 4 years. Wow. He's in the 9th grade.
Wow.
So if you tell me this ain't a setup from the beginning,
absolutely.
It was never to be created equal. You was never to be created equal with somebody else.
Nope.
You're who you are. You're a king because you're a king.
Right, absolutely.
Like, can't nobody else demote you to a prince. They can't demote you to no prince. You're a king.
Right.
Like, so kings have to do king all day, every day, right?
All day.
So that's my story. That's what I come from. And I come from kings. I don't care what you think about me.
Right.
I don't care what you think. I'm where I'm supposed to be. I don't care how you think I'm supposed to talk. I'm going to do king every
all
day.
day long.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
Straight
that's
up.
what it is, man.
Straight up.
And that's what we got to get back to, man. The confusing thing is
In ourselves, right?
In ourselves.
Absolutely.
We talk about in real estate. We talk about this. I know you hear this term a lot. Buy back the block, right?
Buy back the block I hear.
What is the block that we buying back?
Right.
That's my concern with everybody who's talking.
Absolutely.
Like, what block are we buying back? The block that I'm from? The hood?
Right.
They said crack every day. Still to this day.
Right. To this day. To this day.
So what block am I buying back? The crack block?
Right. Right.
Well, I'm gonna use my money smartly and invest to show these other people that I'm more educated than you in a situation where I can get off my assets too.
Yeah, right.
And when I get off my assets, hey man, I'm gonna show you how you can do yours. So you ain't selling crack no more.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Because it's the same talents and ingenuity that it takes to be the dope boy. Y'all know that.
Same thing.
The same smart,
one
the
that
same
can-
counting it up, the
It's the
same
same
whatever.
thing.
Whatever's the same thing. You're just shifting it over.
You're shifting it over.
And now people like us need to be seen doing it, so you see there's an opportunity to do it. Don't get me on the war on drugs and all that craziness.
What war? What war are we fighting?
But you get what I'm saying?
What war are we fighting? It ain't no war.
Yeah, don't get me on that because they pumping that into our hoods and then saying, "Oh, look at them, they got mental health issues."
right.
It's all the money scheme.
All right.
Follow the money.
Everything that they do, everything that happens is they want a reaction.
Absolutely.
So now when you get a reaction and now you're the angry black man or you're the angry mobsters and you marching, they want you to do that. They want a reaction out of you because on the back end of it, they got stuff, they doing stuff
That you don't even know
behind
that.
closed that
You
you
don't
ain't know
even
what's
know.
going on. So
Making
even
trillions.
like the tweet today, like when I tweeted that, a guy responded, he's like, when I said that we need to stop using the term going to the highest bidder when it's concerning NIL. He said, why? It's appropriate. Now, I could easily, it's Twitter, okay, first off, but people get, become Debo on Twitter.
Yeah, they get that.
Right.
They get it.
They get-
Think I
social
won't
media.
see you in
Think I
person.
won't see you in person. So
That's social media courage.
I'm not gonna go there, right? I say if you believe that, that's a simple answer. And so I'm not trying to get. It starts like you said, Will. It starts within ourselves.
Absolutely.
That's it.
And it's almost like we base everything, and like I know Montreal talk about this all the time, and we all Evergreen, we talk about everything, right? And people have made Jesus like this superhero figure,
Right.
when the reality of it is, this dude was a G, right?
Crazy.
In every area of his life.
Absolutely.
Finances, gangster.
Yep.
Yeah.
How to treat people, gangster.
Gangster, yep.
Right? You want a healthy body, gangster.
Gangster.
Yep. Like everything he dealt with.
Yep.
So. But when we were talking, it's not.
gunshots,
I went. God dang, with the gunshots. I went to
Oh, he had them killers with him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I
think
ain't
he
realized.
did.
I ain't realized
I
like
think he didn't.
how like with him, like you get reminded of stuff about how we should react. Okay, and like I know, like in Matthew, I'm getting ready to 30 right now. But no, I'm serious. Like when I say if you believe that, because and a part that in Matthew he talked about, they asked him, by what authority are you doing these things? Isn't that kind of what the era we in now? Okay, you know what? How dare you take $400,000? How dare you?
Yeah.
And so how dare you do this? How dare you? You know, want better for yourself, and now they want you angry. They want you angry. They want you get you riled up, right?
Yeah.
But Jesus told them, "Let me ask you a question." Right? He said, "If you answer me, you know, I will tell you about what authority I am doing these things." He said, "John baptism, where did it come from? Was it from heaven or of human origin?"
Yeah.
They couldn't answer him.
Right.
I know what he was doing. He didn't get it's plenty of times he could have threw some hands on a lot of people, bro.
No, with more than hands. More than hands. That man said, and we gonna get, y'all want to get to it? That man said I could call legions and angels. And I don't know if people understand that statement. They said angel could wipe out about 2,000 people.
Absolutely. What is one?
Yeah,
A legion. A legion.
If you want the exact number, 186,000.
Okay, all right.
That's
there it
one
is.
angel.
Okay, one angel.
One angel.
So now 2,000 of them boys.
Yeah.
That's the end of the world.
That's it.
We about to end this. Y'all realize I can end this?
And that's like you said, that's the place we have to get to. Like, why are we getting so angry?
Yeah.
Why are we getting so?
And I do like the statement is you can't take my life, I give it.
I give it.
Right? I do like those statements in the essence
Yes.
of having power over your own faculties.
Got to control you.
Yep.
Why are you questioning why I should be taking any money?
Why he making $15 an hour?
At all. Let's not even. I don't even care if you're unemployed. Like, why are you questioning why I should take any sort of money? Because you didn't question when I was getting my butt up at 6 o'clock. Off 5:30. Going like I literally know kids because I train so many. I literally know kids. I know young girls who got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and dropped their mom off at 5:20 at McDonald's. Right. Matter of fact, the young lady we interviewed, episode 2, I believe, Quenisha Burks, Olympian. Shout out, all right, Olympic long jump. Like she woke up in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, drop her grandma off at work. Not a mama, drop her grandma off at work.
Grandma,
and then went to school, and went to work herself. Right, like she told a story, like she was meeting recruiters from the University of Alabama in the dining room of McDonald's.
Yep. Yeah.
Why are you questioning?
Don't tell me nothing.
Because you don't know nothing about me.
Yeah.
If you want to ask about me, cool, I'll tell you about me.
Yeah.
I ain't got no problem telling you about me. But don't come and accuse me and think, well, you don't deserve. You don't know what I deserve.
Don't tell me nothing.
You don't know. You don't tell me nothing about what I deserve. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't know what injuries I'm fighting through. You don't know what, in some case, what Toradol or cortisone shot.
What you on?
Or that I had to get a 6-inch needle put into my butt so I could step out like Trent Williams playing granted he's playing professional football, right? But I would be hard pressed to say in a couple of weeks we don't hear about Trent Williams got to go get surgery on the ankle, right? Because he just played an NFC Championship game on what amounts to probably one leg.
And Derrick Henry the week before.
Derrick Henry with five screws and a plate, metal plate. Now, granted, they're getting paid, right?
But they wasn't getting paid.
But beforehand, when he was at University of Alabama and Trent Williams was at University of Oklahoma, like they weren't getting paid for this. But Doug wasn't getting paid for this. He got a picture right behind him, but he wasn't getting paid for none of that.
Yeah,
the knee brace, the shoulder brace. Like I remember seeing Doug step out there, catching an interception with the knee brace, shoulder brace, and barely can walk off the field.
Man.
That's my kid. Doug know that too. Right. That's my kid favorite highlight. And that's my kid, but Doug know that. My kid watch that highlight like once a week.
Wow. So you don't even know that. You don't know half of the pain that it takes for me to wake up and and put on my left and my right and get out the door. And you want to question whether I should be because I haven't built myself up for 16, 18 years, however old I am when I'm signing my scholarship, about what I deserve.
And you question me. And here's the slick part. And here's why. Wise as a serpent, but gentle as a dove, right? Gentle as lambs, or whatever little nice animal.
I tried to figure that out earlier for the podcast.
Shout out to Swag, man.
Something that's friendly, but wise as a serpent because we kind of talked about it last week about the guys that made the GM moves. And you didn't even know they was moving until they was moving it. And we almost wondering, why do you even want to be in that place? I think Dante was talking like, why
did say that. Why?
Right? But it's wise as a serpent. And I think that, shout out to Derek Beckwith Foundation.
Yeah, man.
And the conversation. And that's going to grow a whole lot more. We're going to talk to a whole lot more kids. Because the conversation that we're having, and even though we're doing this on a public platform, and I could care less, is the conversation that's going to be had and need to be had over time because in a system that is not built for you, we got to remember now, we got to stop asking the snake to not bite us. It's a snake.
Bro, it's supposed to.
It is. And we about to jump in, Dante, to the conversation because it is a... Listen, I got dogs. I got dogs. I don't know how I ended up having 5 dogs, and I got 5 dogs right now. It's crazy. I love my dogs. Shout out to Maggie, Chess, Graham, Alex, and I just bought another one, Homemade Harmony. All right, so
you got a whole family.
We got a whole family, and they all different colors. All of them is we
a legion. You got a legion of them.
Yeah, Rainbow Coalition. And so, but when I watch my dogs, there are times that I've gotten upset with them for doing things that dogs do. put the water down in the thing from the day, and they were so happy to see me. They flipped it over, and I was water all over the floor and everywhere. And now I'm pissed. But then I calmed down because I realized I cannot ask a dog to not be a dog. Okay, just watch what I'm saying. A dog is gonna be a dog. Right, and you pick an animal. When y'all know certain animals, we see a pit run through here right now. What we doing? Hey, who pit that is?
On the table. I'm on the table.
We on the table. Now we're not window. I got a right to stand down there, pit. I got a right to be over there. I'm gonna go ahead and move around. I'm gonna move around a little bit at the time because I think we've gone back to some of the foundations of these things, and some of the foundational conversations of. So we have to outwit the pit. Now we talking. There's a dope line. We talking bars. We're talking pit like the pit bull, but we're talking about the pit too, like the pit they trying to put you in. Right. So we talking biblical references. Joseph outwitted the pit by having a different mind frame. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have to get all deep in the sky about it. We just calm down right quick. Calm down. When you calm down. You start hearing things and understanding stuff, and you start making. I will never forget, man. And I'm gonna pass it on in a second. I was in the locker room at East Ascension High School, and I remember rest in peace to my homeboy DC, man. I love DC, man. And rest in peace, man. But DC was my homeboy, and he was a smaller guy, man. But he had the heart of a lion, bro. Like I seen him whoop dudes, like. And so we went in the locker room one day, and I saw something happen, and the dude called him a nigga, right? So you know what it is. It's about to go down. So we walk in the locker room, and I'm just kind of getting ready because I'm waiting for somebody to jump in because I'm about to throw them blows too. Let them go one-on-one, do their thing. And the young dude got the best of my homeboy. Why did he get the best of him? Not because he could fight better. At the beginning, he got the best of him. He ended up coming back and beating him, and it was all that. But at the beginning, he got the best of him because he didn't start fussing. The young white dude didn't start fussing. He didn't get all whatever. And we can say that was because he was scared or whatever it is. But he didn't start fussing. He didn't get all whatever. And my boy was so hot. That he came in hot. He came in hot, and now if you put us in the middle of a field, that's a beat down. But he came in hot, and I saw this boy grab the fence. You remember them fences you used to have in the locker room where he had the lockers, and he grabbed it, and he was just moving around. So now my boy couldn't get a grip, and he caught my boy and flipped him over his back, right? And I saw that, and I always paid attention. And now my homeboy got up. He backed up a little bit, caught his band like that, whoop, and then threw that mix on him, that Floyd on him right quick. But I saw how the dude didn't react from jump and did something that caused him to maneuver a certain way. And for some reason, we're not speaking to us right here individually on this microphone, but for some reason, a lot of times that never ends up being our story. Because we walk in like we got to defend ourselves. We walk in like we got to prove something to the system. We walk in like we do something. So sometimes we can be the most easily angered or the quickest angered. But then I'll say, hold on, let me see how y'all moving. Oh, real estate. Yeah. Let me see how y'all moving. Oh, y'all gentrifying. Oh, okay. Let me see how y'all moving right quick. Dante buying property. Let me see how y'all moving. Oh, let me see how y'all moving right quick. And I'm gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna let y'all think. Y'all want to let y'all. Now I gotta call this bull out about this high bidder and all this stuff and whatever. But I see you. I see what you're doing. You ain't gotta stop talking like that. I see you.
Yeah. I want you to talk like that.
We ain't like the way Floyd used to win his fights. You know what I'm saying? We ain't like the way Floyd won his fight, but he was a tactician. He was hitting people, and you ain't even know he was hitting them.
Undefeated,
and they hated it. Yep. They not only they hated it, they hate it right now, right? But it's just the way you move, and we as the ethnic culture that we have background, we got rhythm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We move in a certain way, and whether we know it or not, we move the culture.
Absolutely.
But. The systems, y'all know I'm big in the music industry. I'm watching this all day, every day.
Yeah,
we moved the Geiger counter.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying they as white people.
Nope.
I'm talking about they is something bigger than
mindset.
that.
Right. They of that mindset.
Something bigger than these pigments. These pigments are a product of the sun, bro. There's something different than these pigments, right? They don't want you to know that you're moving the culture.
Yeah.
I saw a conversation. Shout out to we shout out the pods. I'm athlete, and I saw Aaron Foss was on there talking with
Dope. I seen it.
And he started saying something at the end, and I think it was a little too much for him at the time. I think they understood it, but it wasn't gonna make no progress on that particular podcast.
Not at that time.
They were making no progress at that time. But I understand it, and I think that these are the conversations that we need to have. I think our job for them again is to call out the foolishness and let them know that I see you.
Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
Hey, yo, I see you. Don't think that you're taking it from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. I see what you're doing. Because even if you tell me highest bidder, I'm still going to the highest bidder. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not agreeing with the statement. But I'm still about to get 400.
Here's one thing. Yeah, here's one thing. Because you talking ain't gonna talk.
I can do what I want with it.
And like my mama said, you talking ain't gonna talk one red cent out of my account.
There it is.
None.
Come on, shout out to
and some of them kids not going to the highest bidder.
That's true.
They still making smart businesses. They still business.
Absolutely.
They business minded, man. That's why I get a shout out to their families, man. Some of these kids taking less money to go to some of these schools.
Absolutely.
So you can't say that they're going to no highest bidder, yo.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So they try to throw their little stuff out there, bro.
That's a good point.
They try to throw their little stuff out there to try to and these are the same people, Dante. These are the same people that don't like the NIL. Now let's get to it. Yeah. They the same people that still think they the same Dabo. They the same ones that think we still need to be, you know what I'm saying? We still need to be playing for pride. I'm playing because you love the game.
He ain't coaching for pride. Funny. He ain't coaching because he love the game.
Funny.
If he would, he'll be coaching park ball.
Funny. See how Clemson landed today, as far as rankings, as far as signings today.
But think about that too.
Funny, huh?
It's
funny how that works.
Karma.
like I know people saw Jimbo Fisher's rant, but the hypocrisy of people.
Yeah, shout out to Jimbo, man.
That say they don't like NIL.
Yeah.
But if you were in that position, you would do the same thing. I know you'll do the same thing. Absolutely. The only reason you're saying that now is because it's not benefiting you.
Yep.
It's benefiting somebody besides you. And Will, you talk about this. And look, I think we are pro a lot of things. We're pro NIL.
Pro NIL.
And one thing we are is pro education.
Today is my favorite day of the year. Yeah,
we pro education. So now you get paid, but now let's teach you how to manage this. Let's teach you the finances on how to make sure this grows. Okay. So we went to Donaldsonville High School the other day.
Shout out to them, man.
Shout out
to the basketball team.
Deville,
Donaldsonville.
Right.
A lot of great things are going to happen in Donaldsonville.
Yep. Hey, shout out to
a lot of great is going to happen in Donaldsonville. Who you trying to shut up?
Go ahead on there. Go ahead.
And so, and the other aspect of it is this, right?
Dante, look who else gonna shout out.
Figured it out.
All right, I'll figure it out too. Come on, golly. I had a picture in my head.
Come on,
golly. The fact that the educational part of it too, and so yes, NIL is great. Mm-hmm. But also, and the reason I'm saying this, the reason I'm going to say this because I dealt with it and I didn't handle it right. Mm-hmm. Okay, and what I told that basketball team, I said, if you have an opportunity to even negotiate or get an NIL deal, don't let these companies and these monies pimp you out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. When I
say pimp you out, is this: don't let them say, "Well, here you go," and turn their back on you.
Right.
Because now sometimes the money is made to destroy you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I know what it's like to be 20 years old. You walk into a room in college after a bowl game, and an advisor has $5,000 in cash and just throws it on the bed. Okay, now I'm not asking any questions at that time. I'm just taking it and running with it.
Right.
That $5,000 was gone in 2 weeks.
Right.
Okay, but now I think this generation is smarter. Mm-hmm. And they can sift you out within 10 seconds. I don't know the exact science of it, but a person has like 7 seconds to judge you, so they know if you're real or fake. And so even with this NIL thing is great because now, if you're going to make a mistake financially, I'd rather you make it earlier than later on in life.
Yep.
Right. So you can learn from it. And I'm all over the place, man. But shout out, man.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. If I can, I don't know if you can say it on, but I understand, right? Mm-hmm. When they say, don't be controlled by the system.
Yep. And
so all of us in this room understand what it's not to be controlled by the system.
Absolutely.
I understand.
Absolutely.
I'm understanding now why DBF
you see what I'm
is
saying?
not taking government grants.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You understand?
I understand now why I'm not running to this person or that person.
Right.
I understand why God is not my source, but God is my God.
Right. Yep.
It's a different ball game now, right? I understand why I'm not online. I'm like, man, let me get this. Because now I'm controlled. You see what I'm saying? I may not able to go in these schools and do the things or say the things that we want to say, man.
We've I've said this before, and you talking about Red 30. I said that we've normalized the noise.
Yeah, I watched that episode.
We've normalized movement. We've normalized commotion. And so what they want to do, EJ, is if I can keep you moving, and then watch this. Oh, I'm so tight right now. I'm talking about this because they want to keep you moving. Because if you ever, this pandemic was something, boy. You start sitting still, and people started getting smart. And we're not even, certain institutions, different institutions in life think that they are the key to everybody's wisdom. So I mean, the church got their feeling about that. The education system got their feeling about that. The hotel, the hotel.
Third eye.
But without any of that, just sitting still, just be still. And then see the salvation. Wait. And if I sit still for a minute, I was like, hold up. I got the hand in my pocket. And it's been there the whole time, but I've been moving so much, I thought it was my hand. I thought this was the way it was supposed to be. And now it's normalizing the noise, it's commotion. And then the next step is this. Y'all watch it? Now, y'all want to hear a good book? A good book called Outwitting the Devil.
I heard of that.
And then they got another one called Screw Tape Letters, right? And I'll put you on after we finish. And it's a conversation with the devil, right? Whoever the devil may be in that, right? And they're showing the different tricks that they give, and he's bragging about his tricks. Yeah. And the next thing they want to do is, and I don't know if they say this specifically, but the next thing they want to do is keep you in commotion, keep you confused, right? Keep it where you can't see nothing, and you think that this is the way it's supposed to go, and then when you finally get some freedom and you clear and you calm. Next thing you want to do is anger you. Yeah. Yep. Because he who angers you controls you. It's like there are people and there are powers that be. We watching ESPN and they be watching the Evergreen pod. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? And watching all different type of things that we do, and we're seeing stuff from the cameras or whatever. Yeah. But there are things at work in places that will never get to stand in those rooms. Yeah. And they are particularly. Like the stuff we found out about Gruden, right? In those emails, right? And we about to talk about another situation. I know we finally gonna get to it, where you people are saying stuff in the back rooms. That's just stuff in there's rooms behind those rooms. Yep. Right? And they know exactly what this is. They know exactly. Oh no, we can't let them stay still too long. We got a stimulus check. We got to get out here and get this. What we're trying to do is stimulate. You stimulating the economy, all right? No, you're stimulating these minds and they bringing these same stimulations back.
We talked about it.
Yeah. We got to stimulate. We got to get everything back open. Yep. Yeah, because you got to get the moving again. Got to get the moving, and then we're gonna
go back to work.
Go back to work, and then go back to work. You get it? Work, and then we about to go back to work and then we about to outrage.
Because that's one of the things that happened is that a bunch of people found out that they was working that BS job.
Absolutely, straight up.
So everybody's always talking about these employment numbers and everything like that. Right. What really happened was a lot of people started opening their own businesses.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because that don't count in employment numbers.
Right.
When you employ yourself, you don't count in employment.
And they saw that they could do it.
Exactly. They saw they could do it. They saw they could be an entrepreneur. They had the time because the world was shut down.
The world was shut down.
Shut down.
Right. But you still open a business.
But y'all still open for business.
Right.
So
you still open the business. You open a business.
How's the world shut down?
Right.
So
how's the world shut down?
That's crazy how you really sit still and like really sit down, calm down, and assess everything.
So, bro, we talked about
the message. This is the message. This is the message that we teach DBF and we teach them young guys coming through. That's cool. Work hard, work ethic. Hey, sit still for a minute. Sit still for a little minute, and you'll see. Like you sit still and you'll see more. Like you're right on the road. Right on the road, and the faster you go, the trees be passing by. Like you don't even know what's going on in the field over there. You can't see nothing, right? You slow it down, it gets a little clear. If you stop, you'll see everything going on in that one spot.
So they got a message. It was we talked about it. It was Friday, 8 p.m. service, right? October 28, 2020. Get a call from him. Hey man, we need you to come tonight, you and your wife. It's only gonna be about 16 people in the building. I listen to that every day.
Yep.
I listened to it every day. It changed my life.
Yep.
Because when everybody else said the world was shut down and it was a pandemic, we went inside. We talked about it. We went inside. But where you went inside at? Did you go inside yourself?
Yep.
Or did you go inside your house? What is your house? While you inside, are you searching yourself?
Right.
Or you just searching them scriptures?
Right. Come on.
Right. So when we talking that talk, we gonna talk it.
We're gonna talk that talk. That's the conversation,
Right.
partner.
So when you inside and you searching yourself, you finding out what's really going on.
Yep.
What's really the pandemic?
Right.
What's really need to be shut down?
Right.
So when I shut everything else down, I can focus. So my focus becomes the focus.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So we intentional with our intention. I talked about this. We had a tribute night, Thanksgiving. Everybody get together. That's exactly what I said. Your intention made me intentional.
Yep.
So your intention made me intentional. I'm intentional with my intention, so my focus is on my focus.
Yep.
And when I'm on it, I ain't searching them scriptures no more.
Yep.
I'm searching myself to find out what I'm supposed to do in them scriptures. Because I'm them scriptures.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So when we do that, the world is not on a pandemic. The world is not shut down. You shut down their ways, their concepts. I embrace.
Yep.
Right? And so when I'm embracing, exactly what I'm doing is I'm outpouring.
Yep. 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 Yep.
So when they talk about the gentrification and this and that, I'm the gentrification.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
What block am I in? I'm the block.
On the block. I am the block.
Right?
The
God
is
can't
where
fail,
the
right?
The block is where I'm at. The block is where I'm at.
Because God can't fail, right? No, we talk about it today. Jam come to the site today.
Yeah, I saw. Yep.
Jam come to the site today, right?
Yep.
Jam come to the site today, and dude called. Dude sent an email, right? Dude wanted the work done on the house. Send an email. Oh man, your price too high. Cool. That was 3 weeks ago.
Right.
Sent my wife an email today. Can you call me? Email me back. We need to discuss these numbers. Nah, man, I'm down the street. You could walk down here because I don't chase money. Money chases me.
There it is.
When Jam got the ex-Jam who was down there, he walked down the street to talk to me because I ain't chasing no money.
Absolutely. Straight up. Straight up. You get it? You get it? You get it, Will? That makes a difference, man.
Yep.
It's like even like the
Embrace yourself, man. Go inside.
Embrace yourself.
Embrace yourself
Embrace
and go
yourself.
inside. You got to go inside of you, yo.
Hey.
Like,
it is crazy. Like, you know, I think a lot of times, and like I guess terms and things have been just thrown out since we were kids, and you get used to certain words, and so like you said, when you calm down, you pay attention to everything, and I understand the significance of it, right? Of the pandemic. Okay, sit down. I was like, well, you know, I'm not no literary scholar. But I got some common sense, like pandemic. It's a panic, okay? So if I get you to panic, okay, and like we said, not go inside yourself, you're really gonna lose who you really are.
Right.
And so now you're going this way, you're going that way, you're going this way, you're going that way, and it was just a whole panic type situation where if you do that, right, you will never, ever reach where God wants you to reach.
Right.
Because now you're going different directions. And what made it real to me was this. Okay, during this whole time when it was like when everything you couldn't go nowhere, specifically for the foundation, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, I said, well, I ain't got to get no PPP loan.
Right. Right.
I ain't know what that was. I saw people, I was like, well, shit, I ain't got to get that.
Right.
I was like, well, shit, people still giving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
From
PPL.
like it went up. What
PPL.
Yeah, I said PPL. Like, you know,
you got that PPL. You got
People.
PPL. You got PPL. You don't need that PPL.
I said the percentage from 2020, 21, because I track it, I said the percentage went up. From 21, 22, it jumped up like 140%. I'm saying, well, what? And so for that, it made me realize, like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Like, you know what I mean? And
What we doing?
What we doing? And I think, and that's the whole thing too. And that's why, like, you know, this younger generation is going through this. Let me tell you something. The reason people want to create a narrative to say that they're like they want instant gratification, instant success, and all that stuff. It's because, like, I think that they're seeing more now, and for them to go through what they're going through, right? People gonna try to label them a certain way, but it's too late because now they're gonna know how to move. They're gonna know how to navigate. Like, they can, for them to go through what they're going through, bro.
Yep.
it's something that I don't think anybody go through, like specific for athletes.
Yeah.
You know, with the pandemic, you don't know if you're playing, if you're not playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, you got kids, you know, playing basketball with masks on and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like psychologically, I'm not saying obviously I'm not saying against that, but psychologically that can take a toll on you.
Do something for you, right?
But man, they still standing strong.
And do what they got to do.
They still standing strong, man.
Right.
I think this generation gonna be.
I saw they like to say they say boy they act like they've been here before, talking about the little kids, right? And we say that they're getting smarter and smarter, younger and younger. And I don't know if I think we were the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have nobody talking about us. I saw a little boy on Instagram today, 2 years old, doing 3rd grade math.
Man, that's dope. That's dope.
No, I watched
2
him.
years old?
I watched him on the little whiteboard, and they had timetables on there. And he's doing them joints. And one of them, and you can almost think, well, they practiced, so they told him what to do in what order. He got to one of them and stopped and took the thing and did like this, and then wrote the answer.
All right.
And the intelligence is kicking in more and more because there's more availability to it. Yep. I do think too, Dante, that some of and we about to get into. I'm gonna let you lead into this next segment because I think some of the things that are being said and the standing up that's happening and some of the exposure that's happening is because I'm gonna say it again. If business goes on as usual. What were we doing before the pandemic? Think about it for a minute. We totally different people.
Yeah.
But before then, business going on as usual. And if business goes on as usual, then they lull you to sleep. It's like this. And though we may be woke about some things, and we've talked about things before, we didn't need a pandemic to see a lot of stuff we knew already, right? There's the reason that we are the people that we are and we do the things that we do. But even when business is as usual, everybody just keeps running the race. The rat that ran the race is still a rat. The rat race, right? Yeah. And we keep running it, and sometimes we're like, hold up. Somebody need to say something about this. Yeah. Somebody need to point some of this out. Somebody need to say something. And hey, hell, if it just don't work out, it don't work out. Right. But we need to start having that conversation.
Yeah.
What they say? Yeah.
Brian Flores, former head coach of the Miami Dolphins of the NFL. On February 1st, just happened to be timing.
I don't want to cut you off. I want to say what he did before that too.
Okay.
Well, he wasn't he defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots.
Okay. Yep. All right.
Super Bowl champion.
Okay. Okay.
Filed a lawsuit with the Southern District of New York, which is Manhattan area. Alleging that there discriminatory practices and alleged racism and with the NFL and the 32 owners of the NFL. The reason why this touched off is because of his very recent firing and interview with the New York Giants organization that he found out 3 days beforehand, before he even went to an interview, that he wasn't getting the job. And the craziest way was his former boss and mentor, Bill Belichick, text him congratulations on getting the job, and then in a roundabout way found out that that Brian Flores was not Brian Daboll. Everybody's most people have had that happen where you text the wrong person. And when I say that Bill Belichick sent the exact wrong text to the exact wrong person,
almost meant to be, huh?
Like, I'm not a big believer in coincidence. Like,
right.
So that is has been a main point of his lawsuit, and other some of the other points in his lawsuit are that current owner of the Dolphins, his name is escaping me right now. Yeah, Stephen Ross, offered him $100,000 per game to lose, to tank, basically in the 2018 season.
Tank for two.
No, well, actually, from what I understand, they were actually trying to get Burrow.
Wow.
So he was tanking 2 years in a row. Well,
right.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
Yeah. So the tank for two ended up working because of injury, but then when I guess they saw what they had into or at least he thinks he saw what he had into they started tanking they wanted to tank for Burrow, and and he was just basically like, no. And it's funny. So the media blitz that happened very, very soon after his firing, because a lot of people were surprised by the firing.
Right.
Like, yo,
didn't they have a winning season?
Winning season, back-to-back winning seasons.
Went on the streak.
And the only winning seasons that the Dolphins have had in 20 years.
With a hurt quarterback.
With a hurt quarterback, a bad offensive line, no playmaking wide receivers, and he won.
Right.
He won 8 or 9 straight at the end of the season after losing, the first 7 games of the season.
Right.
What makes that the part of this very interesting, I don't know if you gentlemen know, but I've been in this today. When I say I've been in this today. Stephen Ross, with the recent. We've all seen, if you watch any kind of normal TV, you've seen the DraftKings, the MGM, all these apps to place bets and everything like that. What makes this very interesting is if it's proven that he was offering this man $100,000 to tank games, right? And it happened to also be at away games as well. That's interstate commerce.
Yeah.
Right.
That's FBI.
Right.
Yeah.
And they come and see you.
Right.
Right? Because that has to do with betting. Funny thing also is that Stephen Ross is also an investor in some of these apps.
Yeah.
So now you playing both sides
That was a good take.
of the issue.
That's a good take.
So now you're playing both sides of this issue. You trying to get this man the tank. Now I know which way to place my bet on this app.
Right.
Hedging the bet. That's what they call it.
So I'm hedging on both ends. You're right. I'm hedging my bet. To his credit, Brian Flores, as far as we know, did not accept in his payments because he went on to continue winning.
Right.
And give the Dolphins back-to-back winning seasons. And some of the things I've listened to today, I was like, it's funny. You always hear like, well, such and such signed this contract. You never see coaches' contracts.
Yeah.
You never do. So you don't know what type of contract, Brian Daboll signed versus what Brian Flores had. You never, because you can't compare coaches' contract because you never see them. Nobody knows what Bill Belichick getting paid to coach the Patriots.
You never see them.
You never see them. Right now, if this case goes to court and gets to discovery, you will see it. You will see it. And the NFL is going to try to pay him goo gobs of money to not have that happen. But the thing is, so Brian Flores can't compare, unless he's talking like I'm sure he's probably talked to some other former black head coaches and be like, yeah, they haven't had that in my contract too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that in my contract too. It's funny, like and we're just gonna. I'm gonna say this on the front end, and I know how some people pay me, but
everybody got.
It's gonna be very hard to prove racism.
Absolutely.
Right, it's going to be very hard, and I don't think he has a winning case. But the thing is, because he filed it as a class action lawsuit, someone might have the evidence of racism.
Yeah.
Right.
So it doesn't have to necessarily be him to prove it.
Right.
If any one person joins this class and when the class has to get certified, it's a bunch of legal stuff that got to happen.
That's gonna be
We're not going to get into it right now.
Right.
But if someone in that joins this class, the class is certified, and someone in this class proves that they have been racist, have had racism acted upon them by an organization in the National Football League, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because a lot of people were saying, well, if these coaches join this lawsuit, it's going to effectively end their career. Well, and granted, it's most likely true. But here's why they say there's strength in numbers. If every black coach that is in the pipeline joins this lawsuit, you can't say that because how are you gonna affect the Rooney Rule now? Because you gotta interview one of them.
Yeah.
So if you got to interview one of them and you don't hire none of them for 5 years, and that's all the coaches in your pipeline, they all join part of this lawsuit. Now what you gonna do?
But the Rooney Rule is minority. It ain't just black.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Because Brian Flores is not really black.
No, he's not. He's Honduran.
And that's my take on it. Like I'm for Brian Flores. Like I think he's a great coach. I always say this all the time. But
we know racism can't be just enacted against a black man.
It's not. But I never heard Brian Flores like. I'm gonna start off by saying this: he should have been fired. Brian Flores, you should have been fired. Like straight up. Like as an employee, you should have been fired, bro. You cannot go against your employer that much publicly. Not nothing to do with coaching. It ain't got nothing to do with a great coach. I'm with him all day, every day. I just don't want him at the Saints. Like just because he's not a good employee. Like straight up, like he should have been fired. Like everything Dante's saying is perfectly right. Like and you could be perfectly right, and I could be perfectly right at the same time. What he did with the GM, publicly calling out the GM every chance he got, he should have been fired. You cannot do a superior at your job, and none of us can do that at our job and not get fired. Straight up, he went against the Tua draft pick before they drafted Tua and said we would be stupid to draft Tua over Abear. They drafted Abear. So what that tell you he felt about Tua? So then he said, we do not trade my left tackle. What they did, they sent him to Houston. Right? After that, he said, we can't win because we ain't got no left tackle. I need a left tackle. He said this publicly in a press conference. You're saying all this publicly. You are not a good employee.
And do it true.
I'm not saying he wrong. Right. I'm not saying he wrong. What I'm saying is you cannot say this publicly and be a good employee. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's perfectly right on everything he said.
But
you cannot say that and be an employee and still be employed.
And here's a very interesting thing.
Because if you was going to say that, go ahead.
No, a very interesting thing I heard today was because you don't know what's in these coaches' contracts, right? They never say, "Hey, we're hiring you we're hiring such and such, like we're hiring such and such to come here and win." No, you come in here to coach.
You come in here to coach. You're hired to be fired anyway.
Well, yes.
You're hired to be fired. Let's be honest. You're hired to be fired. Right. I don't care who you are. I don't care what race you are. Yeah. I don't care what you're hired to be fired.
Absolutely. So, but you're hired to come in and coach. Now, some of the stuff that came out about him in the media blitz was that, he doesn't get along with management. But here's the thing: if management is telling you, if management is telling you to blow games, and you telling them no, well, yeah, they can say, yeah, he's hard. He doesn't.
But what is his job title?
Exactly.
No, I'm asking you. What was Brian Flores' job title when he got hired by the Miami Dolphins?
Head coach of the Miami football team.
So that entitled is what? Coaching the team.
Yes, sir.
You're coaching the team they give you, right?
Exactly.
So you're an employee at that point. Why are you not doing employee type things and coaching the team that they give you? Why are you coming out publicly against what your employer that pays you every week? Like if I had an employee that did that, if my sheetrock guy told me that, every time I come and I tell him, hey man, I need to hang the sheetrock on this wall, hang the sheetrock on that wall, and he complain, as soon as he hang the sheetrock, go right out there and say, man, I don't know why Will got me hanging the sheetrock in here when I ain't got nothing on the studs. I'm gonna fire that dude right then. Like I ain't gonna wait 3 years like the Miami Dolphins did him.
But you ain't gonna tell him to hang sheetrock on the roof either, though.
If that's what the client wants.
But see,
if that's what the client wants. You see what I'm saying? If that's what the client wants, I don't care.
I heard. So Hugh jumped off the porch.
Hugh Jackson.
Yeah, Hugh Jackson jumped off the porch.
All these dudes clowns to me, man.
Well, see, boy, I'm gonna tell you what he says. Let me tell you what he says. So he comes on breaking news on Sports Center early. I'm right before I come, right? And so he's talking with, I think her name's Josina.
Josina Anderson.
Yep. So and y'all know how they get when they get on TV. They ask these direct questions. And so when the news breaks, and you know how media is, they say, Hugh Jackson says, yeah, I know what Flores is talking about because the same thing happened to me. All right?
What team he was coaching?
The Browns.
The Browns, right?
Okay, right. All right. So he said the same thing happened to me. But when he gets on there and starts talking, the conversation gets different because they ask, okay, what happened? Tell us your story. And so he gets to filibustering.
Yeah.
Right? Now his story is good. I'm explaining what he says. What he's saying is not a story. What happened is I get the understanding of it. But then they were like, wait, hold on. But what exactly happened to you that was like Brian Flores? Did they, and he kept on saying, they was like, no, did they offer you money to quit to lose games? He was like, well, no, but then he starts talking like this. And this way it gets slick and it's slick on all sides. And that's why I say stop asking the snake to not bite you.
Yeah.
Because he says in his contracts, there were incentives that were on the end of the contracts.
Exactly.
and they had nothing to do with winning.
Exactly.
They had everything to do with. He said it was a 4-year plan. He said the first 2 years talked nothing about winning games.
Yep.
No.
They didn't use the word tank because everybody think tanking is a cuss word. Even though we know tank culture is real.
Yeah.
Tank culture is real, but nevertheless, they don't use that. He said he didn't hear nothing about winning to the 3rd and 4th year of the plan. And he was trying to ask, and he said he had suits and everything that was going on, and went to the NFL trying to find out what's really going on. Why are these incentives in here if it's not about winning, right? Mm-hmm. And so they slip little stuff in there that are incentives for if you do lose or whatever, right? Now here's what I'm gonna say about it. We can beat up here and be the righteousness of the Lord with this and all this and be like, what's the justice or whatever? But we know people tank.
Yeah, you supposed to. You have to. That's how the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
We know teams tank. We know even like lottery picks. Like we know lottery picks in the NBA. We know how that stuff go, right? We know that those are real things. But I think that there's a way that these systems structure things in a way. And once again, you have to be wise as a serpent. Mm-hmm. And you have to move a certain way to do certain things when you're dealing with people because you don't see the contract. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't see the contract. You don't know what they're putting. Now, I pray. Mm-hmm. I hope. I don't know if Brian Flores is going to coach anymore.
No, he's not.
I want him to coach. He's a great coach. Like I keep saying that. The dude is a great coach, man.
I don't know if he's going to coach anymore because I saw
on the NFL level.
On NFL level
because he needs to go to college anyway.
Well, and I'm not about to open up another thing, but I saw what happened to Cap. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they did all the little honorable mention stuff. They act like they wanted to get Cap back in the league. Cap was not playing ever again, and we all knew that. Yep. He was never going to touch a football field in an NFL game again. Nope. We still don't know the undisclosed amount he got.
And I don't think he ever wanted to play. I talked about it on my radio show.
See, that's another
conversation. I don't think Cap ever wanted to play. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You don't get your money.
Now, if Flores has a situation to really get some money out of this thing, mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The class action, of course. Yeah. He got a situation to really get some money out of this thing, and I pray to God that if that's his intention, that I hope he doesn't have a contract structured like Hugh Jackson was, because that's going to be hard to prove. Yep. Because when you sign a contract, and everybody lawyers look at it. Yep. And they look it up and down. It's supposed to. Mm-hmm. And then they're gonna have to find actual conversations about, hey, $100,000 off the books. Yep. Mm-hmm. Or $100,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who gonna have to be the character witness? The character witnesses and all of this.
Maybe they're
gonna have to be the agents.
Yeah,
it may be
that's the only way all of this is going. And I'm not saying Flores is
messing
wrong.
with their business.
They messing with their business. Yeah. So Flores was right, man. Like he was 100%. Right in everything. Right. I just didn't like the way he handled it. Like if you're gonna handle it and you're gonna do this class action suit like this, don't wait till you get fired. Be a man, stand up and do it while you're the head coach. While you have a mandatory 4 press conferences every week. Right. Don't wait until you're fired. That's the same problem I had with Cap. He waited until he wasn't the starter anymore to do it. Mm-hmm. Right? Do it when you got the power, man. Do it when everybody listening to you. They have to listen to you. And Brian Flores fired a lot of players too. So we ain't gonna sit there and act like he Christ. Like he fired a lot of players too.
Was a Christ.
like he fired a lot of like he really, you see what I'm saying? Like not just that, like how many cats he had that he actually took the dream away from them of playing football, that just because they didn't fit what he wanted. Not that they couldn't play football, they just didn't fit his system the way he wanted. So he right as a coach, and I hope I pray he does coach because he's a great coach. I just don't like the way you gonna be him. You can't be no employee and leader of men and do the stuff that he did at that time. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest problem.
Martyrs are usually flawed.
And I hate martyrs. You know why? Because they die on the sword in front of everybody and tell and brag about it. Mm-hmm. Like, stop doing it that way. Do it the opposite way. Well, we ain't got to do it. Do it when you got all the power. You a martyr. Well, just like you can't be no martyr and then brag about it, dog.
Yeah, for me, I always had a problem. I had a problem with, I know once in the music industry, I had a problem with these. Everybody wants to thug and wants to rap about the dope game and get rich off of it and then get out the game. Yeah. Right. And then say they want to do Christian music. Or they want to be a gospel artist now. And I was always like, no, bro, like when you were at the top of the game and you were on tour with whoever and you was at the top of the charts, I wanted you to say it then. Now maybe that's not the way the system works. Maybe that's a pipe dream. Maybe that's something that I'm just using my imagination. But I know that it's more effective if you really believed it then. Now, did you come to some kind of conclusion later on or whatever? We can't be in nobody's head, right? So I don't know nothing about that. But I do know that it's these systems. Once again, I'm going back to these systems and the way they play games. Because here's my question. I asked Swag today. All y'all got houses. Mm-hmm. Who make the rules at your house? No, answer me. Who make the rules at your house?
Me.
You.
Me.
When somebody come in, do they get equal rights?
Oh, man. Nah, man.
I'm not talking about you. You
I know
gonna let them go. You gonna give them. You gonna give them. You know what I'm saying? You gonna give them.
You get permission.
Yeah,
you get
but
permission.
you gonna give them.
Yeah.
You gonna be cordial. You're not gonna treat them like a dog, right? But at the end of the day, you're not about to bust up in my refrigerator, bro. Just cause. And no, you're not gonna get up and walk in the room.
Like they use the guest bathroom before they use my bathroom.
Absolutely. Like, you're not about to go in the bedroom bath. You're going to the guest bathroom. And that's cool.
real.
Why? Because it's what?
It's your house.
Because it's mine. And so it's a. We got these dimensions. I remember we used to do longitude and latitude. And you know what I'm saying? Then you have depth and dimensions and all that stuff like that. 3D, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes we try to discuss things linear, and then even function linear. When it's more dimensions and layers to what's going on. There's up and down, right, in depth and longitude, like all these different dimensions of things. And sometimes we try to go right, wrong. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or right or not right. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a right and I don't have a right. But at the end of the day, now you're bordering between, and I'm not even talking about the all the stuff about the bribe and all that. That's going to be on their body. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about that right now. Now I'm going to the coaching, not coaching, the black hides, not black hides, and everything. Now we live in a free enterprise. We live in a capitalistic society that we all somewhat benefit from. Yep. Right? We live in a freedom of whatever you want to say, whatever amendment you want to say, right? And now it's like, if I come to your house, if I'm in your house, you make the rules, and that's the way it goes. Because it's yours. You built it. Mm-hmm. You made the house. You built. You didn't build that house for other people living down the street. Mm-hmm. You built it for what you wanted it to be for. And so when I come to your house, I got to realize, it's not going to be set up for me. Yeah. Like that. Now, if I want to stay over here, I got to figure out how to sit in here. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'll figure out how to make the room benefit me for what's going on. But at the end of the day, I got to remember how the house was built. Yep. I got to remember who built the house and how the house was built. Mm-hmm. And when I remember who built the house and how the house was built, then we were talking about the day. It's kind of like, now I got to figure out how I'm gonna make a move. How I'm moving around over here if I want to do this. I know we was throwing out talking about going coaching in college or whatever. And I got another question about Harbaugh too. After that,
and the thing is with. So and look, Grant, I understand what y'all saying about the coaching in college and everything like that. Thing is, after we had that conversation last week, I kind of looked into it, and I mean, as far as minority candidates, college coaching got a worse record than NFL does.
Might be so, yeah.
And NFL currently has two minority coaches and one black coach. Right. Like, and so by percentage, the college football game got a worse record in hiring minority and black coaches than the NFL. Right. So it's one thing to say that. It's another thing to actually look at the numbers and be like, well, why? Right.
I get it.
And I get what you're saying about
And I'm totally agreeing with you though.
Dying on it when you got the voice. I guess my argument against that, not against it, but I guess my question is, well, in my opinion, he still did have, because number one, look at what it did. Like, Tom Brady retired today. Mm-hmm. Retired the same day it happened, and nobody is talking about.
But to me,
so I guess what I'm saying is, I guess what I'm saying is, like, he still had a legitimate shot at jobs. Like, people really were interviewing him.
They still interviewed him.
So he didn't have to do this. Like, he literally didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
Well, I think what it ended up touching it off was like, where are the, like, it's not only that my mentor, that's like legit. That's like my dog, Boucher is my mentor at LSU. Like, he has taught me everything I know about track and field. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm not gonna say. He's taught me a lot. Right. Like, he has advanced my knowledge in track and field in these last 3 years that I've been working on. I've known him for a long time, but I've only worked with him closely for the last 3 years. Right. That's like him. That's like me going to interview to be the next head coach at LSU of track and field. And he texted me and be like, "Man, congratulations!" And I'm like, "Man, I ain't even go interview yet. Like, what kind of inside information you know?"
Right.
And I say, "Thanks, man." And then I find out, no, I meant to text this other guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I gotta take.
Like, but not only finding that out that way, but to know that these conversations are happening and you have zero clue that these conversations are happening. Like, Bill Belichick is the head coach of the New England Patriots. Why does he know what the New York Giants are?
Because it's not 32 organizations. It's one organization, the NFL.
Yeah, but I gotta take.
Like, that's why I was saying, what was he hired for?
I gotta take.
Go with your take. I can hold.
Now I don't know the man personally. We don't know any of these people personally. It's crazy.
Right.
But I've known, and this is a wild take, y'all. And I've known, we've all been, we almost, he's probably gonna go down one of the best coaches ever, Belichick. Mm-hmm. So we've known him to be tedious. We also known him to be a cheater sometimes, right? Like, we known all that, right? But we've known that he's very calculated. Y'all kind of see where I'm going?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you think this was an accident?
Nope.
I got a question.
This text.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this happened before though, with any coaches. Football.
Technically, it probably happened.
I don't know if it's been public.
Yeah,
but
right.
It's probably happened. Probably.
The assumption is that it has been happening.
Yeah.
But it's behind the scenes and nobody's talking about it.
So I'm like, it been happened before. Like even if it wasn't public, I mean, would you kind of know if you was a coach on these big teams? You had to have some kind of. Some kind of,
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Intuition about it that you just signed up for this.
What Dante?
This is gonna happen. Eventually, this is gonna happen. Especially if you a person of color, a black person, whatever.
Right.
You know they're gonna slime you out some kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you kind of gotta be prepared for this in a way that it's gonna happen to you. You know
Well, that's what I thought you were
Like,
going to say, Dante.
I'm not saying that he wasn't prepared for it. What I'm saying is he's tired of it.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine the anger that probably ensued after the hurt. Number one of having that happen to you, like, whether it's intentional or not. Right. After the hurt of that happening to you, I can't imagine the anger that probably followed behind it.
Right.
So you know what's gonna happen. Just like DM said, it was not. It happened intentionally by Belichick, right? He wants Flores back as the DC. The only way to get Flores back as the DC is to text him the wrong information because he know he gonna go public.
And that's why I wanted him to say where he was at first because I didn't know that till today. I didn't know
he gonna take his son out of that job.
Nah, but his son is always the co-DC, just like he was with Gerard Mill. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
I think
his son was the co-D when Flores was there.
Well, here's what I'm saying about Flores.
But it's his son. He ain't really calling no plays.
Right. What I think too, because they asked him. He was on with Greeny this morning was it this morning or whatever it was?
About Get Up.
And he asked him. He said, "Well, if you knew, y'all heard this, you heard about it. If you knew that it was a sham, and you had this text before you went on the interview, why did you still go?" Mm-hmm. And he kind of filibustered a little bit, but then he kind of explained to him that he said he believes, and when he said this statement, I knew where we were. And I think it's exactly where we should be at this particular time. Just go ahead and get that class action suit and get that money. Mm-hmm. And get everything you got to set your family up forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And if you're trying to really make a move in the NFL for black coaches and black people, then don't do an undisclosed amount. Mm-hmm. Don't let them give you an amount to make you go shut up and sit down somewhere. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like. But when I heard this statement, then I knew what course we were on. And it probably was the course that needed to be taken. When he said, well, I just wanted to believe, he said, I just believe that deep down people are good people. Yeah. And that's when I knew, boy, you're in the NFL.
Right.
Boy, you know exactly where you at. Yeah. How you got to where you wasn't no good people doing good, wholesome action. There's no way to get there.
He was with the Patriots.
Listen what I'm trying to tell you. So what I'm saying is this. When I heard this statement, and I don't feel no kind of way about it because, why is it serpent? I'm going to play your game, and I'm going to get what I want to get out of it. Mm-hmm. If he wants to still head coach, he does not do the lawsuit. I don't think this boy wants to coach no more, and I'm not calling him this guy. Lord have mercy. Yeah. This guy wants to coach anymore. I think that he's just trying. I think that We're about to see which way it's going to go. But when he made that statement, I said, okay, you already know. You're not naive, bro, so you already know. So I knew that somewhere along the line, you knew, even somewhere when he was in Miami, somewhere along that line, it clicked that we're not about to ever be a winning organization. They're never going to give me what I want to get out of here. They're not going. This is not about to happen. I know the owner. I know the GM. We button heads. Not about to happen. So now I'm about to walk this course, and it just so happened that things fall in place for me, to where now I can make my jab.
Yep.
And I can get whatever I really want out of this.
He pulled the Coach O. He pulled the Coach O.
He did.
Like, bro, ain't none of this stuff coincidence, man. Like, all of these people trajectory in their business practices, it's all the same.
And I ain't mad.
Yeah, get your money.
I ain't mad at
I hope he's still coach, man. The dude a great coach, man.
The only thing, this is my only thing, and then it could be what it wants to be. My only thing is, this is my only thing. Don't start talking. And I'm holding other coaches. I can't hold nobody responsible. I'm just holding them in my mind responsible. Don't start talking this talk about revolution and about change, because revolution sometimes means death. Revolution sometimes means I got to give my life, and revolution has always meant that. And don't use what we've talked about for the last hour as black men, as change, as whatever else. Don't use, because all that platform goes together. Don't use that as a way to line your pockets and then you in the wind. Don't do it, because I can't say you will or not, but I can tell. I'm just gonna be frank. I did not like, and he probably took care of his family. I did not like that there was an undisclosed amount for Cap. And I did not like that now he has not said another thing about the NFL, because he can't. Because they gagged him. Y'all know how it go. That's why Tiger Woods' wife can't never say nothing about him, because she got that $500 million and they gagged her. That's a wrap. You can't write a book about it or nothing. You know how much a Cap book will sell right now? Do y'all realize how much a tell-all book? Man, the movie would be through the roof. Can't do it.
Oh yeah.
And we gave $1 million to Know Your Rights camp. Man, $1 million to the NFL? Get out of here, right? Tax write-off. What I'm saying is this, and this is no reflection on Cap, nothing. What I'm saying is this: do not. I just need to know what you're here for. If you let's get this money, and we about to get this money, and we got a class action suit. Let's get this money, yo.
That's cool.
I'm in. If I'm a coach, I'm in, bro. Let's get this money, right? If we about to march and we about to get a revolution, and we about to flip the NFL over, let's flip the NFL over. But I just need to know how we rocking. And when I don't have to know nothing. Matter of fact, they ain't got to tell me nothing. But I do know the facts. I know how that goes. And I know if you, according to everything we talked about, if you get the money and disappear in the wind, you on their team.
Yep.
And the biggest thing is he a great coach. Like he's a good leader of men. He wants the best for whatever organization or whatever team he's coaching for. Like he's gonna put in the work, he's gonna put in the hours. Dante, you're a great coach, right? How do you feel about coaching? What makes you coach? And what drives you in your coaching field?
What drives me is I can get a young lady to change her generational minds, her generational wealth in 11.3 seconds.
And see, that's my.
I love it.
That's my whole thing.
I love that, bro.
That's my whole thing. Like you ain't coaching for the right reasons, right?
I love that, bro.
And like, I got family members that coach, right? In all aspects of like college football, high school football, park ball, like, and they coach for the same reason you coach, for them athletes, right? So when did it become about how much I get paid and the opportunities that I get versus me actually just coaching? So when we look at that aspect of it, I don't care about whatever happened between you and the GM, who's black, who fired you. The owner didn't fire you. The general manager fired you that you had a problem with.
But they got a black GM?
They got a black GM, the Miami Dolphins. Yeah.
Sheesh.
So the black GM is the person that fired him, not the owner.
Sheesh.
Right? So I don't care about that. I just want to know if you really want to coach, man, because you're a great coach. That dude is a great football coach, man. And we need more great football coaches, but we need them to be like you. We need them to be like everybody else. We need them to be tapping into the DBF. We need them to be helping raise leaders of men. Because these cats got to be running households. They got to be running businesses. They got to know how to be soldiers out here in this world. Like, straight up, like, all jokes aside, like, this is why you coach. You ain't coaching for money.
Right.
You ain't coaching for opportunities. You coaching for somebody else. You coaching so they can live their dream, not for you to be having all the dreams. When the coaches become about them having all the dreams and all the money.
Hey,
That's what I want to know.
I have a question.
But we can't, but we can't say out of one side when Brian Flores signed for $94 million, we was like, well, get that bag. He gonna be coming out here and be the CEO.
Right.
Right. We can't say
Kelly.
Brian Kelly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can't say out of. What
What you said?
94 million.
Yeah, that's what he signed.
The
Coach LSU, the new coach LSU.
You want to be a coach now, EJ? You want to be a coach?
So
Man.
yeah.
But with Brian, but with those coaches, this coach just the coach though.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So no, they wouldn't.
I think they would because they was at Division II schools with trash facilities and still won national championships. I think Nick Saban was still coach no matter how much money he made because he was a coach before he was making money. Like, so why you start getting money and then when your money you hit this? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, you gotta coach the coach, bro. You coaching for other people. You're not coaching for yourself and you coaching to build other people.
Yeah, like Will said, like those coaches like Nick Saban, Jimbo Fishers, and all that stuff. I don't think when the way they came up, them dudes wasn't getting no money to be a GA. Like they really had to get through the mud, so they understand the process that it takes to get there. And so I think they didn't get into coaching knowing, man, 20 years from now I could be making $100 million.
Nobody was doing that.
Nobody was doing it.
Nobody was even making $5 million a year when they started coaching.
So on that note, what are we saying about Brian Flores? Are we saying that he got injured the wrong reasons? He didn't go through the ringer.
That's what I'm saying with a lot of people who coaching right now. They into coaching for the wrong reasons because you could tell by the actions. What I'm saying is when you look at something, remember what that something is when they show you. Like, because Brian Flores will coach no matter what. Right? That's what I hope. That's what I pray. But if he don't want to coach no more, he ain't want to coach. He got in coaching for the wrong reason. It's about the next 3 years about to tell everything about Brian Flores.
A lot of that, like Dion said earlier, was that like what we in a capitalistic society.
Right,
so do you?
I'm with getting your paper though.
Can you? I can't blame a coach for saying, well,
I'll take it.
if they get in that bag like that over there, let me draw some stuff in the dirt. Let me see if I can get this quarterback to throw it to that receiver.
Right.
Like, can you? I don't know if you can blame them for that.
I'm saying is
I get what you're saying.
I don't know. I haven't had a personal conversation on one-on-one on Evergreen Power with Brian Flores, but you're welcome to come and join the show.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
You got some time on your hands.
Sure.
So I just want to know if the next 3 years are going to show if he want to coach or not.
Yeah.
I hope he does because he's a great coach.
Now, so what decisions? I'm about to ask another question, and this is a good question because we said we don't think we was adamant about he probably not gonna coach again. All right.
No. Not given the history of what we've seen.
What would it take for him not to coach again? But my other question is this: is he not going to not coach again because? So my two scenarios, my two scenarios I laid out was: are we going for, revolution, or am I going to get that bag? Right? And I just explained how I felt about both sides. Right? Which and maybe both of them, but which side? I know which side do you believe will keep him from coaching the most? You know what I'm saying? Like if he go get that bag, he sue the NFL and win, and not even win in court. They just pay him off or whatever, right? Never gonna coach again.
No.
Do you think if he goes the revolutionary route, that it'll be a possibility that he coaches again?
No. See, here's the thing.
Because
when you are a fired minority coach in the NFL, just look at the league right now.
Absolutely.
The chances are few and far between. Number one, that you ever gonna get, even with the Rooney Rule, you probably not even gonna get called for the interview because most of them are just gonna. If all 32 coaches got fired, you probably only have 32 interviews for minority candidates because they all just trying to check that box and move on with whoever they was gonna hire in the first place. All right. So when you say like a coach once fired, minority coach once fired. I mean,
right.
Tony Dungy.
You're right.
Maybe I'm trying to think of like who in the league.
Back, right?
You're right.
And had success.
You're right.
They're like hired and had success because most times
hired to a successful team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hired to a successful team with a successful quarterback.
That's why I say Brian Flores never had a successful plan.
Absolutely.
They didn't hire him to win in the Dolphins.
Bingo.
Like you should have went into that knowing it. Like
Bingo.
I'm gonna make myself look as best as I can. I'm not gonna go against the GM.
Look at what happened to David Culley.
Like I hate tearing down so-called black people, bro.
Man,
like
look.
I hate this right now. Like I text Doug about this today. Like I didn't even want to go in on Brian Flores on live. Like I didn't want to do it because I don't like doing that to black people. Like that's my biggest thing. But at the same time, something got to be said about certain things. So is Sean Payton? Let's go right here. Has Sean Payton the last 16 years been labeled as a great coach? We gave our farewell to him. That was last week.
Yep.
Has Sean Payton been labeled as a great coach? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has Sean Payton did the best he could for every coach that worked for him? Yes or no?
I would have to really look at it off the top of my head.
To my knowledge, yes.
To my knowledge, yes. If I'm looking at some of the guys that came through.
So we talking about the Rooney Rule and all of this, right? How many black head coaches has Sean Payton helped get a job?
None of
That work for the Saints.
Hold on, let's see. That's my take.
You see what I'm saying?
But that's my take with the Belichick thing. That's my take with the Belichick thing. Because we always said, we use the phrase white privilege, right? And they were saying that the white privilege need to use the white privilege against the white racism or whatever, right? Like it takes that. There's no angle with that where Belichick is like, you know what, I'm going to throw that out there because I'm about to shake it up because it shouldn't be like this.
Could be.
Okay, so what's the last thing that we've seen? Okay, so I know the answer to this. I'm just going to ask and see, like Will just did. Like, basically, what's the last major change that you've seen in the league? Like major change.
None. And that's my whole point.
Well, I
got an answer. My
last major change I've seen is just the punkification of it.
Okay.
Like you can't touch nobody no more.
Oh, like they're talking about like, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The way the game played, it ain't violent no more.
Okay.
So it's like we trying to dumb down football for everybody else.
Right.
And we trying to pacify it as it's strictly what it is, entertainment. So everything is entertainment. Yeah, commercialized. Yeah. The NFL is commercialized.
Okay, so to me, the last major change that I've seen in the league, right, and why it happened, right, because you hit them in the pockets. The last major change in the league was announced today. The Washington Commanders. Right? No longer the Washington Redskins, you know, they were for years, not the Washington football team,
right.
And now the Washington Commanders.
Right.
What started that, right? Because they got to the money. The people at FedEx told Daniel Snyder, we are pulling our advertisement dollars from you if you continue down this road with the things that happen with the
but
with
it's
the
the same
cheerleaders.
Daniel Snyder that was emailing with Gruden though, right?
Bingo.
So, but ain't nothing happened to him though.
Bingo, but because they found the fall man.
Come on, bro.
And the fall man happened to be John Gruden, the $100 million man.
Yep.
Right.
And he's nowhere close to owner or anything.
Right. So that's the last major. So the bigger this Brian Flores, the bigger the fall guy is going to have to be. Will it end up being Stephen Ross having to sell the Dolphins? I don't know. It might not.
How many black people minority owners with the Dolphins?
I think Serena still. I think Serena in now.
Like, look at the minority owners in this stuff.
I think so.
Of some of this stuff that's going on.
Let me check.
And some of these people, black people, right?
The NFL.
He don't own a whole.
That's it.
The NFL is corrupt. Man.
And it's fake. It's entertainment.
Hold up. Nope. It ain't corrupt. The NFL is not corrupt. The NFL is exactly what they wanted it to be.
It's designed to be that way.
And I had to get my mind together with a lot of stuff that in order for me to call something corrupt, when something corrodes, like a corroded battery, the battery was fine first. Then over time it corroded. It got the stuff where y'all didn't see a messed up battery or something that dilapidates, like a building goes bad, right? Because the building was good at one time. You tell me the time that the NFL was good, and I'll tell you it's corrupt. It ain't corrupt. The NFL is built exactly like America is built exactly like they wanted it to be built. It was built like they wanted it to be. And this is my conversation. So now if I knew this, I knew that if I put them pads on, and I put them cleats on, and I signed up, and my mom signed away for me to play ball, and I knew coach said I was gonna be a tight end, and I knew once I got in that game, I was got to do tight end things because, and I knew once I got between those hash marks, and once I got between those lines, that it's a possibility that I'm gonna get hit. I'm signed up to play football. You pick a sport, you pick whatever it is. I'm signed up to play that thing. Whether it's a dirty hit or not, we all know players that got dirty hits, now they're injured for life.
Yeah.
Right? Because you signed up to, that's why we talk about the punkification of the game. You signed up to play a brutal game. Right? And for me, I look at I be trying to find out who at the top, who started this? Wait, where did this come from? Wait, who made the bylaws at the beginning of this thing? Right? We always talk about the Constitution, you know what I'm saying, and the Declaration of Independence and all this stuff, right? Like who? I want to know who started it, and then when I get into that, to the weaving of that, and I say, oh, this is the way y'all wanted it to go. Y'all talking to us like change, and we're about to be fair, and no, y'all about to be the same slave owners. That's why they still call them owners.
All right.
They were talking about that years ago. They could have changed the way they said that. They're going to change the commander's name. Let's change these owners' name. Let's change them as CEO or bosses or founders or something, right? Yeah. They're not going to do it. They want to say owners.
Yeah. And that's my whole take about all of this.
That's the last slavery that's left.
Right. That's my whole take about all of this. Class act.
Well, not the last, but
like class act, high class, first class. All right. We can sit here and turn and talk and do this, but what's going to happen 4 years from now is the same thing's gonna happen, okay? Until you find a solution to this, it's gonna happen again. We could come back on this podcast 5 years from now, probably be in a different building, you know.
Gonna be in a bigger building.
Bigger building.
You know what I'm saying?
Bigger
building. Whatever, you know what I'm saying?
And 5 years from
Probably
now,
have suits on by then.
right, probably with us, tied. Shout out Brown, Gino. We got get us right.
Brown.
You know, so 5 years from now, we're gonna be in the same situation. Talking about another black head coach filing a lawsuit on ESPN with a blue suit on with a pink tie, talking about, man, they did me wrong. But until we find a solution, we spinning our wheels, we talking, and if there's no solution involved, it's gonna be the same thing. So I'm all about so what is the solution? Like, no, give me a solution.
Speed round.
That's easy.
Let's speed round. Go.
Hit him in the pocket.
No, I need more than that. What? How?
Two things.
Because my question was this. I know that since we talking Black History Month, I know right here in Baton Rouge, the bus boycott. Y'all know the story? The reason the bus boycott was a problem, if you know the story about it, they're trying to make the black people sit on the back of the bus like always, right? They didn't want to do it. Women started sitting in front of the bus and they make a big deal about it. So they say, well, we're going to boycott till you change it. Right? Now, mind you, these people are sitting in the back of the bus, but they're still paying the same fare. Right, they say they're paying the same amount to ride the bus. So what they say is, we're not going to ride the bus anymore. And it's mostly black people because the black people didn't have vehicles. You got to think about the economics, right? So who's paying for this bus route and this whole business are the black people. Kind of looks like today in economy too and fashion, all that, but we'll talk about that later, right? They're driving the culture. So now they say, we're going to pull back. We're not riding. If we got to walk a little longer, we're going to walk. If we got to take we're going to carpool. Whoever do have cars, we're going to do that. We're going to sacrifice what we got to do for what we're trying to get, right? They pull us off. All of a sudden now, you know, the bus line want to have a conversation. Let's get to the table and have a talk. What do y'all want? What's a negotiation? Negotiations happens. I remember Reverend J.D. Lane was down there, right? That was my godfather one time, right? Well, it was my godfather before he passed away, right? Now we see things change because we hit him well
in the pocket.
So what is the number that's going to hit the NFL in the pocket to make them change?
There's only one: TV dollars. That's the only one. That's the only one that matters.
And you know how they lose TV dollars?
Who chooses to do that though? How did they lose? Who chooses that? Who is in control of pulling TV dollars?
The players.
Absolutely.
The only person who That's the only reason. That's what brings That's the only thing. The players control all of this. The players control the TV dollars. The players control the next generation of coaches also. Because until the players start being the next generation of coaches, this gonna keep on happening. So until every offensive and defensive coordinator in the NFL is black, they don't have a choice but to hire a black person.
So what we talking about? So good. So all right. So now I'm glad you said that. So you either gonna talk about it or be about it. Now we all about if you want to get, if that's your dream, get paid. Yeah. I'm all for it. Okay. Yeah. Now if you want to, like you said, pull the TV dollars, I'm all for it. But until then, shut the hell up.
Debo Doug.
Like, no, shut up.
Sure.
Because me personally, if I was in the league right now, I don't know if I would do that. I'm just being honest.
My brother called me today, my older brother, he pays attention. He said,
I'm being honest.
about the whole thing. He said, I kept on seeing him. He said, I kept on seeing players talking about, and then we pointed out when Flores got fired. First, we talked about, man, he's a stand-up guy. We all said it. And everybody tweeting, stand-up guy. Oh, that's wrong, man. It went viral.
Yeah.
Right? Players, stand-up guy, stand-up guy, stand-up guy, stand-up guy. Are you going to stand up for the guy? I saw them jokers wasn't taking knees with Cap.
Yep.
I saw how we feel about it. They wasn't taking them joints because they was like, if you take them, this what's up. Right?
Jerry Jones came out and said it himself. Anybody that's it.
And then 2 weeks later, he went.
I'm not mad at you.
Before that.
I'm not mad at you
You know
for
what
doing
I'm
your
saying?
check.
I'm not mad at you for keeping your check, but at the end of the day, if we're going to,
The only change is from the
can't be
players. The only change is from the
That's how I
players,
look at
man.
it.
what you said?
That's how I look at it from now. Like the dudes that's currently playing, it's not gonna be them. It's what Doug's doing right now with his foundation. It's gonna have to be them. It's gonna have to be the young dudes.
It's coming up. They say it's easier to teach a child than it is to teach a grown man how to change something.
Because they
to be
got
honest.
their cash. They
So
can
we're
use
saying
the
generations from now.
Well, here's it.
Now, I ain't even saying generation from now. I'm saying this generation.
That's coming up right here.
Nah, the ones who just entered the league and the ones who getting these NIL deals, this 6-year span of players, they're gonna be the ones that have to change everything.
Because and the reason why is the reason I think that they have the best chance at it is everything we've talked about leading up to this. Because you come out of Pee Wee League,
Absolutely.
go into middle school, go to high school, you sign a NIL deals.
Yep.
If you God bless you with the talent enough and somebody evaluated you and put 4 stars by your name, you probably getting about $200,000-$300,000
Yep.
in college. Right? Like, and if you got that as a startup point and God willing, somebody around you with some sense and teach you how to manage it,
Straight up.
then you're not going to be as panicked when you hit the league.
Thank you.
Yep.
So when you're not as panicked when you hit the league, you can calm down and make a decision.
Absolutely.
I'm going to stand up for Brian Flores because he damn right.
They gotta go inside.
Absolutely.
They gotta go inside. Until they go
Right.
inside. They done.
So right now these young dudes in the league, no, you can't expect them to because everybody is going for rookie last year didn't get in NIL. The rookie just got drafted, didn't get in NIL. This is the first time I'm seeing money.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
Over the table money. Put it like that. Like
so all those guys gonna be the ones who seen it happen, right? So they can believe it.
They paying attention to it.
Until you see something, you really don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like so you can see it. And Flores is a stand-up guy. He just should have stood up faster.
Right.
Like straight up. Like straight up, he should have stood up faster. Like I'm with him. Like and I don't want nobody to get this misconstrued. Like I'm with everything Dante said. I agree with Dante, everything he said. Like it was perfectly right.
Yep.
And I agree with myself too, because I can do that also. You see what I'm saying? That's true. So and I'm pro Flores, I'm pro black people, I'm pro white people, I'm pro NIL, I'm pro colleges making money, and I'm pro players making money also, and I'm pro education, number one. So we need to educate on ourselves and go inside on all this, and until the players stand up, it don't make no sense for none of us talking about this.
And that's the thing, like you was talking about, even with Kaepernick kneeling, right? And so you couldn't tell a rookie, okay, his whole life to get to that point.
20 years.
Whether believe it or not, we can talk about slave owners and all that stuff, but being a professional athlete, you'll never make that amount of money doing a regular job.
No.
You're not going to do it. So it's hard to tell a rookie in the league to take a knee. But when you have veterans that come out, okay, and call out, like Malcolm Jenkins, okay, called out Drew Brees, F Drew Brees because of what he said about the flag. Nigga, shut up! Like you've been in the league 8, 9, 10 years. You got your money.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like shut up, because now you start up a bunch of stuff, a bunch of mess that you're really not willing to go the extra mile.
But the players don't rock with him though.
Hey,
And so
exactly.
he two-faced on that too.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
he took money when he was with the Eagles
Thank
from
you.
the NFL and didn't have, never mind.
with the Players Coalition.
Yeah, so come on, dude. Like, ain't nobody,
that's what I'm saying,
ain't
bro.
nobody
So
rocking with that bow tie dude, bro.
So this is what I'm gonna say.
Ain't nobody rocking with him, bro.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Whoever's listening right now, I think it will. I don't know what we're expecting to happen in literal. I think it changed. I couldn't tell you
I don't.
specifically, but I will say this.
I want Flores to get his money, and I want him to coach.
I will say this.
That's what I want.
I will say this: that whatever. If we talking about this next generation that's coming up, it can happen. It'll be quicker than we think it'll happen. Whatever's going to happen, shifting just as quick as the NIL came in, and now next thing you know, you see $1 million deal. I think the shift will be very, very fast, okay? But I do think, and I'm going to say this, and we saying it on air, but we can say it off air, whatever. I do think that conversations need to start being had on the inside. Mm-hmm. Not no public campaign, not no whatever, not no, none of that. Start having these conversations on the inside. We've come up. We knew how to have conversations on the inside without nobody knowing what's going on in our houses. I bet there are rules that went on in our houses that were very similar when we were younger.
Absolutely.
That you can be like,
keep house business in the house.
Business. Yeah. Don't you invite nobody over here. Don't have nobody in my house.
Yep.
If when I ain't here, don't have nobody over in my house. Don't walk up in. Look, the kitchen closed. Mm-hmm. Kitchen closed time. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all know different rules we've had, and it might have varied different ways, but there was able to have a cultural understanding, and then when we started talking about it, we knew
before social media,
right? It was like, yo, we knew. I knew what was going on in Dante them house. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? And they may have some different,
without me saying it.
And it was like, man, my mom was like, man, mine too, bro. Like we knew what was up, but we knew how to move. So both of us knew how to keep our behind from getting whooped too, right? And we also knew, just like I was talking about my boy DC. I also knew that if it went down in that locker room, nobody was jumping in, and it wasn't even about no conversation about, bro, you got to fight with me when it's time to fight.
It was understood.
No, we knew.
Understood.
We understand right now. We walk out right now, somebody say something, wow, it's over with. Right?
That's over.
So there's conversations and culture, and I think it's being made just with people being smart enough to look around and see things, but in the DBF, right? And these conversations, and it don't have to be as explicit. It can just be as much as we need to pay attention to what's going on around us and realize that these things aren't built for us a lot of times, and we need to understand how to be wise as a serpent and maneuver.
I think we need to make a separation to, like when Doug says, shut up, he's not saying you're not talking about it. Like, don't go out. And when Will say shut up, like, we're not saying don't talk about it. Please don't misconstrue. It's very easy to misconstrue because I had to catch myself just now. I was like, no, what they're saying is when they say shut up, like, don't go out and just make public plays at it. Like, if you're going to go out and talk about it, go out and talk about it.
Get some action.
Get a plan. Let's try to make something work. It's not going to be easy. So don't think that the first plan that you're going to put out going to work. It's not going to be easy. This is a $1 billion industry, not a corporation. This is a $1 billion industry, right? Industry is made to chew people up and spit them out.
Absolutely. And go on to the next.
And keep it moving. And they will do it to you and everybody you love.
You know the key to that? Stay in your own lane. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes the reason people want to get in different lanes, okay, and that's when things get messed up. If you go to the interstate right now and you driving, you don't put your right signal on, you don't look to the right, and you don't check in your rear view mirror or your side mirror to see, I'm just gonna get over, you're gonna hit somebody, you're gonna crash, correct?
Absolutely.
That's the issue that we're talking about. Like, so I'm glad you pointed that out. Like, we're not saying like have an action behind it, but if you did take it the wrong way, I don't care. I'm to the point like I don't, man. Like I don't. But I didn't mean it like that, but I don't care.
Yeah, they ain't
but the thing about it is, if you like I said, Doctor, have a plan, but whatever you're gifted in, stay in that lane, stay in that plan, right? Mm-hmm. So like, it's not arrogant or cocky. I know my gift. Mm-hmm. I know my gift is to touch and relate to student athletes. Mm-hmm. Okay, my gift. Now I'm not gonna try to go talk about having identity at IBM. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. I'm not gonna go into like and have my let's have a teacher seminar. Mm-hmm. It's not my lane. My lane is student athletes, and I'm cool with that. Like if it's a Strickler High School, if the Lord told me you're gonna deal with Strickler High School athletes, or I'm cool with that. Or college athletes, I'm cool with that. So that's what we have to do. We stay in our lane and what we're gifted at. Stop trying to get. I think it's now. We want to take the credit for every little thing or every little step that we do, man. Mm-hmm. And it's cool. Like I don't have to have the credit, right? Mm-hmm. And stop telling your plans before you actually do them.
Mm-hmm. Yep. See, and I think one of the main things.
Stop telling your doggone before you actually do it.
T-shirt.
I think one of the
the whole sentence.
I think one of the things too, though, like the same, like feel how you want to feel about the whole situation. Like I think the same frustration you feel about that is the same frustration he felt when he filed this lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
So I can't.
Yep.
So the timing of it, the however you feel about it, that's fine. I think the same frustration that you felt that you feel about that. I think it's the same frustration that he's running because he's a he's a very young coach.
Yeah.
As far as age wise, he's a very young man.
Yeah, he got 20, 30 years left.
Like easy, good ones.
You can't coach nowhere else?
It's gonna be a lot for it to happen.
Like he got to stay in the NFL.
He 40 years old.
Oh yeah, he can definitely go somewhere else.
With him. Like I wish he would go to. I
wish
he'd go to college.
If you love coaching, I mean coaching.
Coaching is coaching. You go coach high school if you really love coaching. Get your bag and go coach high school. So that's why I say we're gonna see the next 3 years. If he really loved coaching, if it was about coaching, I think he loved coaching. I want the dude to coach, man. I want him to stay in the NFL. To be honest with you, I'm for Brian Flores.
And I don't
straight up.
I don't want it to because I've being my brother went to Louisiana Tech. Like I've gotten a chance to meet the McCowns, right? Mm-hmm. Solid people, period. But when you're saying that, like, you know. If Brian Flores is going to what he knows is a sham interview, right? And on the other hand, you're seeing Josh McCown getting interviewed for a professional football job when he was not the offensive coordinator, not the head coach, when he was a volunteer assistant at a high school. Mm-hmm. Granted, these are very likable people.
Schematically, yeah. He got schematic, but he shouldn't be.
What merits does he have?
None, except for that he played backup quarterback in the NFL
for years.
He didn't even really start.
So when you,
if the system flawed,
he don't need no merit. He got the complexion for the protection.
And if the system that flawed, right? If the system flawed, why is the end all be all the NFL? When did the end all be all become the NFL for players, coaches, referees, GMs?
When that bag started coming out.
But the bag better in college.
I mean, I understand, but
the bag better in college, man. I get the players, the end all be all at that point in time before was the NFL, but coaching it never was. It never was the same. Them dudes who running film for the New Orleans Saints is making $25,000 to $30,000 a year.
And they got game changers now, don't they?
Yep.
Game changer coach.
Game changer.
You see what I'm saying? In college. They got all this stuff in college, bro. You could have been a strength conditioning coach in college if you really love football, and been making $300,000 every year.
Well, hey.
But what you running tape for the New Orleans Saints for $25,000, $30,000? It don't make no sense, bro. When did the end all be? It's like the system has pre-programmed everybody's mind, and that's another thing I hate, dog. Like we was talking about this earlier today, man, on the phone call. Say, bro, I'm tired of the media. They raping people's minds.
Talk to them.
Media, stop raping people. You ain't raping us no more. Like, I ain't prostituting for you. You getting on TV every day. The dude said, I turned on ESPN radio today. The dude said, this the worst day in the NFL history. How, Sway? How?
You ain't got the answers.
They ain't got the answers. This is not the worst day in the NFL history, yo. This is another day.
Not even close.
This is another day. They're going to solve these. This is why these people got lawyers, man.
Not even close.
Stop it, bro. We ain't falling for it no more. I'm about to start calling out people names and tagging you on these clips. Like, straight up. Next week, if y'all still with this foolishness, I'm calling your name and I'm tagging you after this.
We thugging.
Straight up. I'm coming after you. I'm tired of the raping going on, man. Y'all fear-mongering people, man. Stop it.
Like, the thing is, with that point, like, this is why a lot of the things you've seen, as far if you pay attention to like the business around the media of ESPN and stuff like that, why you see certain voices either leave ESPN and start their own, say like a Dan Le Batard, or I mean, I think he's very close to probably being, but I'm not, Mr. Jones, Bomani Jones. I think because he's spreading his wings a lot on HBO right now, and so a lot of these very talented people, very talented independent thinkers, I think they've seen the same thing like you saying, and just like you just got out your contract with, like they're seeing the same things, and they're going to where their voice could be heard. and well, number one, they can say what they got to say, and their voice can be heard.
Make a difference.
Right, and the thing is, what's crazy is when, like I said before, like when if you just sitting by your car and it's broke down, not a lot of people gonna pull over and help you. But if you start pushing your own car, you'll be surprised at people that'll pull over and help you push it.
Absolutely.
Right, and so I think a lot of that is gonna happen. So like we all said, like I wish Brian Flores the best. I wish his lawyers.
Absolutely.
I wish his lawyers the best.
Absolutely.
Because they got a hell of a fight on their hands. And we'll see how this whole
Take the
thing
settlement,
plays out.
make it public.
Yeah.
Take the settlement and make it public, man.
And we can gamble now, right? For college football?
Yep.
Yeah.
Over NIL issue?
Absolutely.
Yeah, DraftKings. Oh, welcome all sports betting into Louisiana. We got legalized finally last week.
But the same people betting on these games, they don't like NIL, right?
Oh yeah, same ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the same ones.
They make $15 an hour.
Oh, the same one. Very same ones.
Yeah, that's why.
And for while you said making $15 an hour, and we'll spend an entire Thursday and Friday and Saturday tailgating.
Magically somehow.
Hey, this has been the Evergreen Podcast. Evergreen / whatever you want to call it, man. We out. Evergreen Pod. We appreciate y'all watching and subscribing. Make sure y'all watch us on YouTube. Doug, tell them what's up.
Follow us on Instagram at Evergreen_pod. Follow us on TikTok, Evergreen_pod. And also our YouTube channel, The Evergreen Pod. Like, subscribe, and share.
It's free to follow. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
We'd like to shout out our producer Swag. We'd like to shout out our producer Jam. And EJ on the music, man. Appreciate y'all boys making us look good, making us sound good every week.
This is Evergreen Pod. We love y'all.